If we unmute the mic, there we go. Hello and welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we have quite the exciting little update, as we did get some new cards added in for Rush, and this comes in a multitude of ways. We have a new structure deck that just got surprise dropped, quite an exciting one. It does have one card which I think a few people did see coming, but I think the majority probably didn't, as well as the new level up rewards, as all of the Rush level caps have been raised from 20 to 35, which is very interesting. It's the card rewards are pretty cool. Having the level cap go up is really cool. There's now just a ton of gems there available, but there is some weird stuff going on with that as well. Let's see what we got in chat. We have Dragson, who's currently BRB. We have Narad, hello. We have Walt, hello. We have B5O, hello. Hi, I bet you're beyond hyped. Oh, I am excited, but part of me is also like, could we please get a Rush box? Like, I would just really like a box. I have all these gems and nothing to spend them on in Rush, so I just keep getting speed things. That's not a bad thing. I do like speed, but please, could I spend my gems on something Rush related? The level cap raise is so good, they actually listen to feedback. Yes, it is not only good for us Rush players, but also speed players are really going to be hyped about this because there's just so many gems there to be tapped into now. 3 structures before 1 box is bizarre. Yeah, my gems are going to expire. Yeah, I am in the exact same boat. I keep buying like bundles and packs of speed, which again is fine. I don't mind doing that, but I would really like to be investing that into Rush, so I can't really do anything with that. But if we take a looky see, if we get rid of, what's the best way to do this? Let's get rid of the overlay, and then we just see the deck that I've been playing. So the big card, I suppose, has got to be the Dark Sword Magician, which is an interesting one as well, because this is the first time we've seen this card's English name. This is a relatively new card to modern Rush, so it's interesting that we have it now. And this card was known as Sword Dawn Magician, but now is Dark Sword Magician. It's a very good card, but it's not like crazy busted, but it is very, very, very strong. So if the number of face-up level 7 or higher monsters on your opponent's field exceeds the number of monsters on your field, you can special summon this card from your hand face up to your field. So what this means is, if your opponent has a level 7 or higher, and you have nothing, you can just summon this out. If your opponent has 2 level 7 or higher monsters, and you've got no monsters out, you can summon 2 of this from your hand. Or if you already have a monster on the field in defense mode, for example, that wasn't able to be cleared, you can then summon this out as well. So it's a weird card, but it's good just to be able to cheat out a 2500 guy. The other effect is a little bit more awkward. So first off, this is actually the first continuous effect, I believe, that we have in Duel Links, which is very, very exciting. But the effect itself is... So if you have 6 or more spell cards in your graveyard, cannot be destroyed by effects. Now, not being able to destroy by effects is good. The problem is, who is playing 6 spell cards in their deck, and who is planning to get all 6 of those spell cards into the graveyard? It's very kind of awkward. Ugh. Yeah. Second, Plaster Scout. Was Plaster Scout the card from the Rider Cross structure? Is that right? Because that's the one which is like you don't take any damage or something. This one. Yes, continues. Yes, so this is the second continuous effect. During your opponent's main phase, you take no damage from your opponent. So this is like a good anti-burn tool. Other than that, it's just like a warrior 1300 earth. I mean, it's... I don't know if they brought this out this early just to be an anti... Like, they're going to bring out some burn effects, so they're like... Ugh. Draw Sense Medicine can fill grave quickly. Let's take a look. Do we have Draw Sense Medicine? Is that a generic skill, or is that specifically for... I have a feeling it's going to be just for our girl characters. Let's take a peek. Blue Medicine Deal? Is that what we're looking at? I'm going to assume it is. Wait, this isn't it, is it? I think Magician Shuffle is the way to go now, and the new spell seems good because you can play through Widespread. Yes. The new spell, as well as... I forget its exact name. Are we? I just don't know if we're specifically talking about Blue Medicine Deal or not as all. Because Blue Medicine Deal is a funky one, but it's basically just Hammer Crush. I don't see another one unless it's like a specifically Mimi skill. But let's take a look at the unedited deck real quick so we can just see all the new cards. So here we go. Magician's Curtain is a really, really cool tempo card and can be really, really strong to try and OTK your opponent with just like a Spellcaster, like aggro variant, right? Pay 1,000. Paying 1,000 is steep when you only have 6 to work with. But special summon a Spellcaster that must from your hand face up to your field, so it can be any level. So this means you can get out a 6 or a 7. Obviously, ideally you want to get out your 7s, but we won't always be able to get out our 7s, so getting out 6s can be fine. And then the monster special summon effect cannot be destroyed by opponent's trap card effects. Now, this is a permanent effect. This isn't... Oh, no, it's this turn. That's me being a dumb. But this turn, monster special summon effect cannot be destroyed by opponent's trap card effects, which means, again, the only thing that's going to work on right now is going to be Widespread Ruin. But that's still good, right? And as well as the fact Sword Dawn Magician as well has the effect that protects it from being destroyed by opponent's card effects, also will technically protect it from Widespread Ruin, but I don't think we're probably going to be sticking 6 spells in a deck realistically. But maybe. I also don't think you're going to be playing too many copies of Curtain, just because the life point cost is too high, and it's only going to come up situationally. But this now does give spellcasters quite an easy way to get 3 high-level monsters out, because you can tribute out one, tribute out another, and then you can use your Magic Curtain to get out the 3rd, which gives you like 3 2500 attackers, for example, which can be really, really good in the right situation. We also have an alt art for Dark Magician Girl. That's neat. I'm not a huge fan of this art. I prefer the other art personally, but you know, if you like them curves. Then, this is what I'm actually really excited for. Light Sorcerer of Sanctity is really good. And why is that? So you can pay 300 life points. One face-up monster in your opponent's field loses attack equal to the number of face-up light attribute spellcaster monsters in your field times 300 to the end of the turn. Now, if we have multiples of this, we can use multiple of them in a turn. That's great. We also do have access to Magic Juggler, which is another light spellcaster, which is quite easy to get out. So you can just run like 6 of these as like a mini light engine. But being able to use Light Ray Sorcerer's effect to weaken your opponent by 600 is extremely relevant because that plays around the barrier really, really nicely. So I think you play 3 Recovery Force, 2 Curtain, a Legend spell, and maybe some back row removal. So 6 spells is unlikely but not impossible. Maybe you don't need to run back row removal at all since the deck doesn't seem to care about the barrier and can play 3 Widespread. I think you'll probably still use some back row removal just because it's good to... If your opponent sets their own spell cards, you want to get rid of their spells so they can't use them against you. So if your opponent is setting their Legend spells or if they're setting their own back row hate, you want to pop theirs so they can't mess with yours sort of thing. And I still think traps are going to be the way to go, especially since we did just get Curtain of Sparks, which is really good. So the main reason Curtain of Sparks is good is, one, you don't have to... It doesn't have to be a spellcaster monster that's attacked. So this works on anything. So you can protect any monster with Curtain of Sparks. Primarily, what I think is most interesting here is you can protect Barrel Dragon with Curtain of Sparks. So if we have Barrel Dragon in our deck, so we're not playing a skill that limits us to not being able to use it, and we just have a spellcaster engine such as Light Ray Sorcerer and Magic Juggler just to get like a really powerful, you know, weakening of your opponent's monster effects, we can then use Curtain of Sparks to protect Barrel Dragon, meaning your opponent needs to have 3,100 attack just to crash, which now means Ancient Arise, which is one of the best cards in the game right now, because it can attack over the barrier, can no longer clear through... You can't even crash into a Barrel Dragon if it's protected by Curtain of Sparks. So that's very, very interesting. As well as the fact Curtain of Sparks does open a lot of other doors, right? Sword Dawn Magician, obviously, will now trade with Ancient Arise, which is really, really good, as well as the fact that our 7's Red Magician can now not get attacked over by 25s. It now needs to be 26 to crash, or above that to be able to attack over it. So, you know, Ancient Arise will still be able to attack over 7's Road through Curtain of Sparks. That's fine. But now, at the very least, it doesn't feel really bad to just jam 7's Road Magician in a barrier meta. Now, 7's Road Magician can be played with a Curtain of Sparks, which is really good. Also, we're also getting Magician's Valkyria soon. I expected us to also get Valkyria Trap, but I guess not yet. Yeah, Valkyria I don't think is going to do much initially. Outside of, like, oh, I don't need a legend monster in my deck, so I'll just play it as, like, an extra light monster that has a decent attack stat, which I guess is fine. Like, in a lot of builds, you might just play that. Like, SAR would probably play that, but I don't think the majority is going to care. The other interesting thing to note here is we do have one final new card, which is the Shining Shaman. Now, this is a card that I think was originally in starter deck Yuga, and we're just getting it now. But this card is weird. So send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard. One face-up level 4 or lower spellcaster type monster on your field can attack directly. Now, the biggest that's going to be is going to be a 1500 Dark Sorcerer, right? Which is fine. 1500 attacking directly can sometimes end games. But do you want to have a 500 body in your deck that a lot of the time you're just going to kind of set and tribute? I mean, maybe. I don't know if I rate Shining Shaman just yet. I think this might end up being a staple in Spellcaster builds, along with Sanctity and Juggler. The problem is how many light monsters is too many to be able to use 7-throw Magician effect, for example, because you're already going to be playing a ton of darks. And if we're already playing a ton of lights as well, suddenly SRM gets capped out pretty quick. On top of the fact that unless you have a way to boost your monsters, something like Prima-Gitana, the maximum this is going to be is like 15. So it's not like a crazy amount, but being able to get 15 direct in, as we've seen before, can sometimes just end games. And especially the Spellcaster deck, which does tend to be very volatile, or at least has in the past, because the whole point of the Spellcaster deck up until this point, the SAR, is to basically blast your opponent as hard as you can and have enough board that you don't die on the crackback and then finish them on the next attack. So it'll be interesting to see if Shining Shaman does find a home. But now that we have Curtain of Sparks and a 2500 body, Spellcasters can kind of play the control game a bit more, right? We can set up boards, we can protect our boss monsters, so maybe there is something there, which would be very interesting. I guess the only other thing to really note about this deck is, one, why have we got all of this crap in it? Flame Champion is at least okay, but Hydro Magician, they put in every single structure deck, and this card is garbage. Please stop putting Hydro Magician in structure decks. Nobody wants this card. People shouldn't be incentivized to play this card. It's just terrible. Konami, please stop. But on the positive side, we do get the entire Beast Engine, right? We get Paku Pakuchu, we get Silver Wolf, we get Gazelle, we get All-Seeing White Tiger, all in one place, as well as 2 copies of the Barrier, which is another staple. So this is kind of a win, because you can get 1 copy for 500 gems, and those 500 gems gets you the entire Beast Engine and the Barrier, which is pretty good, right? Let's not pretend that's bad. That is pretty decent. But yeah, the decks that we've been playing so far, or the deck that we've been trying out so far, which we've had a lot of success with so far, is the SAR casters. Now, obviously, this is not the final build. This is our rough draft. And I actually think we are going to swap this out for our Shield and Sword, because our Monster Inclination hasn't been coming up as much. I still really like these 6 spell traps, and I don't really want to go over this, but that's not set in stone just yet. But this deck's been doing okay so far. I have been really enjoying it, although at some point we are going to have to try out our direct attacker. The other decks I want to try are going to be a Dark Magician variant, which is going to be the Magician Shuffle. This is kind of, again, our first draft. We haven't tested this whatsoever, so this is very, very rough. But the idea is just going to be summon out a bunch of 25s and then protect them with Curtain of Sparks. And then our attacking monsters effectively are going to be 7-throw Magicians. If our opponent plays defense, we can use Torn and Go Over. That's basically the entire strategy. There isn't really much more to it than that. Spellcaster's looking nice, not going to lie. Yes, I think Spellcasters are looking really good. Between Light Sorcerer of Sanctity, Sword, or Dark Sword Magician, it's going to take me a while to get used to that name, I think, and obviously Curtain of Sparks, I think these are looking very nice right now. So, and I've always been a big Spellcaster fan, so that really suits me. The other deck that we want to try at some point is going to be everyone's favorite Dragon Casters. And again, this is playing Multi-Strike Dragon Dragius, so we can't play the Dark Sword Magician, but what does this deck now gain? It gains the ability to play Curtain of Sparks, and when we do unlock our back row hate, we can play the Spellcaster one, for example, because this deck's mainly Spellcasters, and then we can get rid of Hammer Crush Deal and then play any other good generic skill, as well as the fact that we could also, if we want to, include our new spell card, which I've already forgotten what it's called. Dark Magic Curtain? That's the other one. This one? Magic Curtain. Not Dark Magic Curtain, just the Magic Curtain. which can, again, do a really big tempo play. For example, if you're able to get out like 2 Dragius and then cheat out a 7's Road, that's a very, very strong board, as well as the fact we can protect our Dragius with Curtain of Sparks, which does, again, mean Ancient Arise now crashes into it, and anything lower than that, well, I guess 29's a weird number, so it's only really going to be for Ancient Arise, because how often a monster's hitting 29? Not very often. I guess... I mean, no, I can't really think of any time when a monster's hits 29. 28, we got 3,000. I guess it doesn't come up that often. I assume no Barrel Dragon because you don't have the bundle. Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly the reason. We do not have the bundle yet. Barrel Dragon, again, we were talking about it earlier, I think is going to be really, really, really good. It's going to be good with Curtain Sparks, so I think Barrel Dragon is probably the best Legend monster at the moment. But we'll have to see how that actually ends up shaking out. Then the other thing, which was touched on a little bit earlier, was that we do have... Hey, Dragson, thanks for the gems. We do have the new Legendary Duelist, which is cool. That's going to be... I've already forgotten his name, but the Tachyon Galaxy one. This doesn't matter too much. This is just the stuff's gone live today, the Tempest Drive and the Magician Shuffle changes, which is, again, that's fine, right? Like... I don't... It basically just lets you Sword Dawn, and the other one doesn't matter. First, Mizar. Yes, Mizar. Thank you, Grand. So I have watched, I think, all of Mizar's duels, but, like, I haven't sat down and watched the entirety of Zexal. I've watched all of Kite's, and I've watched all of Mizar's duels, and I watched, like, the final duel. I need to actually go through and watch it all at some point, because the problem is, watching the individual duels is really cool, and it's really fun, but you don't get a lot of the context as to what's going on. So, for example, I went back and I watched one episode, and, like, Kite is dueling against, I think, Mizar on the moon, and they're just having, like, a Tachyon off, and it was like, this is neat, I guess. The final arc in Zexal is really good. That's the problem, is I think the very first arc of Zexal I fell off of. I was not a big fan of it, so I need to go back and actually watch it, because I've heard a lot of people say it gets really good when you get deep into it. Yeah, the Moonfight is hype, with context especially. Yeah, I need to... Because they're like fighting to, like, decide who's going to own the super boss monster of the deck. The other thing is going to be the Quarter Century Celebration, which, again, this was touched on earlier, but there is everyone's favourite Blackluster Soldier, the vanilla monster. That's exciting. And flavor text as well, the mightiest warrior whose abilities equal the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then Magician's Valkyria. Now, Magician's Valkyria, as again, someone touched on earlier. Who was it? Was it Waltz who said it? Someone said it. Yes, it was Waltz. Who brought up the fact that this card does have support cards. I believe it has 1 spell and 1 trap card. So eventually this card will get a little bit better, but even the spell and trap card for Valkyria never really saw a ton of play. So I don't know if they're going... I mean, again, if they come out super, super early, as we can do in Duel Links, then they could actually be really good. But I don't, even off the top of my head, remember what they do, because I think I've used them one time just for fun. But getting access to this card early, the main takeaway that this is going to be is its stats are really good for a level 4, and it's a light spellcaster. So... If you have a skill that says you can't play Barrel Dragon, I think you just play Magician's Valkyria a lot of the time. Even aggro builds would probably do that, right? The Moonfight has way more impact than that. It's ... crazy. Yeah, I need to go back and, like, watch it all at some point. But people keep telling me as well that I've got to go back and watch Vrains, because I've watched bits of Vrains. I haven't watched all of Vrains. They're the only 2 seasons I haven't watched. Is Zexal and Vrains. So like, I need to, like, go back and actually get through those. Hello, what is this? We're looking at Magician's Valkyria coming in the next event. Well, I say the event. It's the campaign for the 25th anniversary Quarter Century Celebration campaign. I think Vrains is terrible overall. I wouldn't recommend it personally. Ooh, you're the first person with that take, Waltz, that I've had in chat. So I don't know if that's a hot take, but it seems it might be. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, but some people like it. Yeah, I've heard some people say that they really like some of the characters. The biggest question mark for me was that didn't one of the characters, I've already forgotten his name. What is his name? The Gore, I think it is. He played Goki, which is an archetype I really, really like. And then didn't he like swap onto Dino Wrestler? And it's like, it feels like back in GX when Zane had like a Cyber Dragon deck. And then like he swaps to a Cyber Dark deck. And although Cyber Dark got some really good support later, at the time it was complete garbage. So it was like, why are all these characters, in an attempt to become more powerful, picking up weaker decks? What's going on here? I'm very critical towards media sometimes. I mean, that's fair enough. Vrains is great as long as you watch it all in Japanese. I mean, my preferred is generally to watch them in Japanese. Like, I watched all of, obviously, Sevens and Go Rush in Japanese, and I guess the most recent Yu-Gi-Oh! Season I watched was Arc V, and I was watching that in Japanese, and I absolutely adored it. Yeah, he swapped. Another character does a big swap too. He gets humbled so hard he became a meme. But that's it for that. Now, the other thing we want to look at is over at... So we have our structure deck release. We already kind of talked about that. Looks good. I'm quite happy with these. We're going to play some today, so we'll get to see that in a minute. Then we have new box leaks. Tachyon Galaxy mini box, which I think everyone's quite excited for Mizar. On top of the fact that zombies have always been a really, really cool deck, so I'm really looking forward to some of these coming out. I mean, I don't know how many of these are currently available, but I don't know if we currently have Mizuki or if we currently have Uni Zombie. I assume we don't, but I'm almost certain this is going to be the introduction of Doom King Baladrock, which is really cool. It gets the bigger travesty though is Blue Angel. The English version loses subtext, in my opinion. She legit has game on board several times, and Vrains has her throw. Well, because isn't that like the main, like, not gimmick of the show, but one of the main driving forces is that the main character is not allowed to lose. Like, if he loses, like, his AI gets destroyed or something. So, no matter what the board state is, he cannot lose. So, in order for the story to make sense, he just always wins no matter what. I want to pull that box, but no got to wait for the new Rush box first. Although we don't know when that's going to be. It's so awkward. Now, the duels became too elaborate because the cards are too complicated. Vrains just forced its characters to lose a lot. I'm talking all she had to do was pass and she'd win. And yeah, she like links off her entire board into some useless crap and loses or something, I'm guessing. Their turns are like 10 minutes long. It's weird as well because they speed duel, right? They play with like 3 monster zones, 3 spell traps. So again, I don't think I've watched... Have I watched any Vrains duels? I don't think so. I've seen like clips, but I don't think I've watched it all. I don't know how often they do both. Oh, they do both. Okay, so they 5Ds it, right? Where sometimes it's a standing duel, sometimes it's a riding duel. I mentioned sometimes it's a regular duel, sometimes it's a speed duel. Okay. They do regular duels as well. Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, I need to just buy some time and get through Zexal and Vrains at some point. Just because I would like to myself have just watched them all. But yeah, back, I guess, maybe we can talk about the anime as well, but talk about the box on top of that. I think this box looks cool. I don't know if this box is going to be as cool as the Phoenix box, but obviously Zombies and Galaxy are both really cool, right? I mean, who doesn't love Zombies? Who doesn't love Galaxy? And finally, Slime Toad, guys. Slime Toad. A slime with the head of a frog. It attacks by croaking terribly. There are some hype duels, but don't get me wrong. But Season 2 has some really bad villains, and Season 3 is super rushed. Season 1 showed promise. Okay. What's up, y'all? Hello, Dom the Kid. But I think Slime Toad has got to be the hypest thing coming from this box, right? And then Dino Sowing as well. I mean, who doesn't love another like Spirit Reaper type monster, another Marshmallow? And then we just have our leak cards for speed, which again, I don't really have a ton to say about these. Who doesn't love BLS? Let's go. Back in my day, he was Frog the Jam. Never forget Frog the Jam. Who, I'm trying to think, does he still have that text on him which says, like, this card is not a frog? Like the same way that Summon Skull has, like, this card is an Archfiend card. And then, this was the other interesting card I want to talk about. And that is everyone's favorite Kyber boy, Boss Raider. Now, 1900 is obviously quite big for a level 4. But outside of that, it's not super interesting. We do get a couple of 1900 vanillas. So this isn't going to be the only one. This card actually started seeing a lot of play with the release of the spell card Legend Strike. And that kind of did bring a lot of vanilla legend monsters into the forefront. This card is still absolutely crazy in the Modern Rush game. So if you ever watch any Modern Rush, or if you ever see tournament lists, they are always jamming this card, which is amazing, right? Pay 300 life points, special summon a level 4 monster with 1600 less attack, or a Legend Normal monster. So any Legend Normal monster, so Blue Eyes White Dragon, so Vorse Raider, so just anything. From your graveyard, face up to your field, then if you special summon a Legend Magician or a Legend Normal monster by its effect, you can destroy a spell trap, which means you have really good spell trap and really good recursion. And if you bring back a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can pop one of your opponent's back row, which is really, really good. So, just fantastic, which is the main use that Vorse Raider is going to have. There will also be some other cards that let you special summon Beast Warriors from the graveyard, and it might see some use of that. Things like, if I remember, the Heartless Hounds. This one, I believe. Send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then, if you activate this effect during your main phase that you normally special summon this card, you can special summon one level 6 or lower Beast Warrior type normal monster from your graveyard. So, Vorse Raider is a good target for that, but also the main one that was used at the time was Nekogal, who we also have access to, which is fine. Alright, we are on ad break, so we will just take a little break until everyone's back. There's some alt arts as well, which is pretty cool. Welcome back from the ads. We took a little break so everyone could catch up, so we didn't miss anything. But love the zombie support in the mini box. And then everyone complaining about ads. And then, do you know about the Rush Duel Links Discord server, and do you plan on joining it? So, if we're talking about the server run by, what's the name? Colossus? I can't see it because I'm in streamer mode. But if it's the one I think it is, I'm already in it. So, you know, I'm in one of them that's called Rush Duel Links. Getting the LT arts before anyone besides OCG. I mean, they're cool. They're cool alt arts, right? I do like them. I find it hard to get excited for alt arts personally. I'm always like, new cards, right? I don't know. I know Hylister is a part of it. Yeah, I think it's the one I'm in. Can you invite me? Yeah, I can shoot you an invite, assuming I have the ability to do so. Yeah. Well, that's not helpful at all. Right, let's turn streamer mode off for a second, just to get through this. Oh, do I not have access to do that? I might not be allowed. Invite people. No, I do not have permission to send invites, so I cannot do that. Alas. And now we will go back and turn streamer mode back on. If you send, I assume Hylister has permission. She is staff in this. Yeah, I was offered to be staff, and at this point I didn't know what this was going to be, so I politely declined. But the guy that does run the server did recently come third place. In fact, we can actually go there right now. We can head over to the Rush Duel Challenger Cup 7th Anniversary Edition. Now, this is actually a tournament I did want to enter, but I didn't actually... I was busy like an hour after it started, and it was something I couldn't really get out of, so I couldn't actually play in this. It ended up only being 55 players, even though I think like 80 players signed up or something, so much people must have got dropped. And it was a neat event. The only like major issue I had with this was it's one, like people were able to change decks, so we can see it here. Since players were free to swap decks between duels, like I don't like that personally. I'm not a big fan of just willy-nilly swapping decks mid-tournament, unless it's like, you know, like a conquest format or something. I'm not a big fan of that. So again, the list that we see here are just what they used in Top Cut, so we don't even know if that's what they used every single time. And the other thing was that this was limited to only EU players, so no NA. I don't know, it doesn't sit right, especially if NA doesn't have their own equivalent, or any other country for that matter. Side decking only, in my opinion. Yeah, I think as long as the rules are clear at the start as well with side decking, I think side decking is fine, right? I don't think we necessarily need side decking in Rush at the moment, but yeah. Yeah, you should have to commit to a deck. But yeah, we can see the winner here was So. We actually did get to see the finals on stream. Unfortunately, only the finals were streamed, so that's a bit of a shame. We don't Konami NA is dog shit. Yeah, exactly. Like, please. Like, I mean, again, I'm in EU, so I could have entered this event. I was busy, which is a bit of a shame. I probably wouldn't have won it anyway, let's be honest. I like to think I would have maybe topped, but... You know, this is the generic... This is basically the exact list that we've been seeing everyone play. This is the Dragon Aggro list. The only difference is this has taken one Draggies down and included a Phoenix Dragon. Other than that, like card for card. Oh, we've also increased Speedy Performer to 3 and taken out one Thunder the Thunder. Other than that, exactly the same. Then Giorfio. Everyone loves Giorfio. Giorfio is a fantastic duelist. He came in with SAR. He did really well. Unfortunately, he did get 2-0'd in the finals, but he still played really, really well. And again, this is a pretty good list. 2 Silver Wolf is a little bit suspect, I think. But other than that, this looks great. Only the 2 spell traps, which is what we've been seeing in SAR decks. They've tend to cut down on the spell traps. And then Colossalus. This is the guy that runs the... What's it? Rush Duel Links, that's it. Rush Duel Links Discord server. He managed to take 3rd with Dragonic Resonance, which is, you know, looks fine. Deck looks good. Not really seeing any immediate flaws with this. Obviously, he took 3rd place, so he did quite well. And then Royal Demons Prime. Prime is someone that I've known for a long time from the Witch's Kitchen Discord server. And he is an avid player of Royal Rebels in modern Rush Duel. So he's basically a Royal Rebels 1-trick that plays almost exclusively that deck. And he came in and managed to take 4th place in this tournament. Did really well. And then we have Eugen Hate. I don't know how to pronounce this, but that's what we're going to go with. Black Dragon Rising. Again, we've got Sword and Shield, which is quite nice in here. We have Nicky Boy playing, again, the list. Again, the only change here is that Shield and Sword. Oh, we do also have one SRM. That's actually quite interesting. We've got SRM instead of any copies of Ancient Arise. That's curious. I played in this tourney, went 2-3, but not bad for my first time. Nice, Narad. Nice. I mean, again, for your first event, yeah, that's really good. So is also a community member. Yeah, I haven't heard of So or Sao. I'm gonna go with So. I don't know. Sao sounds very rude, so I'm gonna go with So. But I haven't seen this person. I don't know what they play. Eugene. Is that Eugene? It doesn't have the E on the end, so I'm just gonna go with Eugen. Oh. Okay, the music's fine. Alright. We just need to get back over here. So, who else was in here? We had Brad. I mean, Brad always seems to do well in these, like, official events. He always seems to be popping off. We can see here we've got the Hammer Crush deal, which is basically, I think this is card for card, except for, again, the Shield and Sword over the Monster Incarnation. And then we've got the Black Dragon Rising, which again, very strong deck. And that's kind of it for that. But it was a cool event, right? It was nice that we had a big... Again, a lot more people were signed up than actually ended up playing. So both Sao and Eugen are Speed Duel World competitors in the previous year. Well, I know that Giorfio had a, like, KC Max. So the casters were saying about it on stream. About how they were both in some sort of large-scale event, but I couldn't tell you what it was. I wasn't following, like, speed during those years, unfortunately. But yeah, I imagine must be fantastic players and able to transfer those skills over to Rush. So just goes to show if you're good at one, you can be good at the other. It got a lot of coverage on Farther and Josh's streams, so some more people might be interested in Rush. And it is Sal like the pig. Okay. Well, we're gonna go with Sal then, if that's how it's pronounced. Quite an interesting name. But yeah, these prizes were like okay, right? Nothing like super crazy. A crystal card, Dark Magician Girl's neat. The Zexal medallion's fine. That's also fine. That's fine. I think the pin for me is actually the most interesting thing. But I kind of like this pin. It's a shame that only first place got that pin, and everyone else gets like, you get a legend pin and you get platinum pin. It's like, well, yeah, but everyone that got here is at least a King of Games player, so please give everyone the King of Games ones. It's like Eugen is German, I believe. Ah, okay. Eugen. I will probably never remember that, but we can try. We can try. But yeah, so we've had a lot of cool stuff, right? We had this big tournament where the one surprising thing is that none of these top 4 lists that we saw, and then some of the top 8, had light machines. And light machines are something that's been popping off quite a lot in kind of these smaller scale tournaments that we've been seeing that didn't really get any kind of showing here. So, very interesting. I wasn't sure if light machine was going to consistently stay on top. I think it was still very fresh. They like be like, oh, it's suddenly the best deck. But in this event, at the very least, didn't see it. So it's funny to me how no one gets cash prizes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Funny and sad at the same time. Well, yeah, it's Takahashi, right? He didn't want Yu-Gi-Oh! To have cash prizes, and I think that's understandable to a certain extent. The thing is that, so I don't mind it when people get prizes which are trophies, right? Because, you know, you need trophies, right? And effectively, the Zexal Medallion, Crystal Dark Magician Girl, and the pin are all kind of soft trophies, right? They're not actual trophies, but they're basically a trophy surrogate, right? But the other thing I like is when people get content for the game. So, for example, back when I used to win tournaments, when I was playing physically, we'd win booster boxes, right? So I'd pay my, like, £3 entry, which would be somewhere between, like, $3 and $6. Then I would play the tournament, win, and then get a booster box that was worth somewhere between probably 50 and 60 quid. And then I'd be like, oh, great. I won stuff that I could open and make my deck stronger. Or if I want to, I can sell it or open it and have trade bait. The point was that, you know, you can do stuff with that. The only problem I have with this is there's no, like, you don't get gems by the look of this. Or if you do, they're just not written here. You don't get, like, cards, I guess. Which is, I suppose if you're at this stage, you probably have all the cards. And if you're playing free to play anyway, then you'll probably have got your 9999 gems saved up with a mailbox full of more gems. So I don't know if that would actually do much for you. I think they were giving out tickets before. Like, again, for all I know, they have given out gems and tickets and stuff alongside this, but it just feels weird to me to, like, not get cards as the prize. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe it's just me feeling weird about that. Very much could be. But again, I'm very, like, old school, and I'm used to, like, what I played. I remember Eugen is super hilarious when he wasn't tired. Okay. That's what people say, but I haven't seen a source for that. Could be true, though. I remember in, like, KC Cups and stuff, when you looked at the rewards on there, it would be like, oh, here's some, like, you get tickets and some gems and stuff. So, when I played DBZ, if you won an event, they'd foil out your deck. Imagine Yu-Gi-Oh! Did that full Prisma deck. Ooh, that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. Especially if they don't do something stupid like the Kyber Corp Bling skill. Because I detested that skill when it was a thing. And as long as they don't do something like that, I love the idea of just having like a full blinged out deck. Or like alt arts would be really cool as well, right? Like when we've seen up here, people are getting really excited for these alt arts. Like, obviously I don't expect them to redraw every card, but if your deck had any alt arts, it'd be cool to give you alt arts. Because I think alt arts are cooler than prismatics and like shinies. So, because that's the thing in physical games. So in like the physical Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I'm not a big fan of foils because the card quality gets a bit funky. Some of the foils look really nice, but I've always just liked the clean look of a common. But again, I think that's very me specific. I think most people are probably just like, yeah, give me the highest rarity. Now this is interesting as well. Friend invitation campaign. Gonna be interesting to see what actually happens with this. And then we got just a million skills. Just a million skills. Most of which are for Galaxy. A lot of these are going to be probably event skills. But a handful of them are going to be actual skills. I don't think there's a point in going through them too much here. And then I think that's it then. I think that's all of the news. We've gone over the Dark Magician deck, which is looking really, really cool. I think Dark Sword Magician is going to be a cool one. Again, I was still expecting Warlock to come out. Instead of... Sword, not that one. God, what's it called? Dark Magical? Oh, I do not know what it's called. I wonder if we just type Dark Magician, if it's going to come up. No, because it hasn't got Dark Magician name. What was its name? Was it War? I swear it was Warlock, but it can't be Warlock, because that would be there. Unless it's just not in this database. Or unless I'm just being silly. But there's another 2500 attack spellcaster that can become Dark Magician. I was expecting to get that one. I play Magic the Gathering and I actively avoid foils because they curl too much. Yeah, that's basically what I do as well. Eugen famously said that he reached like hour 60 of grinding the KC Cup, no sleep. He lost his sense of taste and smell. Jeez. I mean, that's why I've never been a big fan of the KC Cups in general. I've only ever like hard grinded or ground a KC Cup one time and it was awful. I absolutely detested it. I was just... And especially because this was when Cyber Angels were a deck. So it was just so many Cyber Angel mirrors. Like, it was so tedious. And then in the end, I think I swapped over to Gladiator Beasts for, like, the end of the grind. Because I needed just a change. Still find it funny that everyone got back row hate but Gavin. But Gavin does already have some Drags, right? He does already have a trap card that gives him back row hate. It's just not the same. Gavin has the trap for the mini box. Yeah, that's exactly what we're just saying. Isn't Gavin's back row hate in his trap? This is the era of MST, boys. Exactly. MST is huge. But yeah, what he should get is Avian Spell Strategy. This will be coming out eventually, you would think. But if you have two or more face-up Warrior and or Winged Beast, this is also for the Winged Beast, which means this is Volt Condor support. That's why they didn't want to release it, because Volt Condor with Avian Spell Strategy would absolutely break the deck. It would immediately shoot up to tier 0. I don't think anyone can really stop Volt Condor other than Konami by not releasing all of its cards. But yeah, we can destroy a spell, trap card, your opponent's field. Then you can place a level 8 or lower warrior or winged beast monster from your graveyard on top of your deck. Now, one thing you could do to abuse this... Oh, hello, Quicks. Thank you for the sub. Let's get rid of this music for a sec as we enjoy the sub music. Thank you for the sub, Quicks. Just, I love the music from 7 so much.
Just subscribed for 4 months.
But, back on... Hi. Hello. You just caught us talking about future cards and the new releases that have come out. But yeah, I think Avian Spell Strategy could get frustrating with Yami Ruler, because you can just take Yami Ruler and stack it back to the top of your deck and play this like super degenerate stool strategy, which could get kind of annoying. Outside of that, yeah, just give us Avian Spell Strategy. Konami will be fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I am quite happy with these releases, to be honest. I mean, we still need a box, right? Konami, box, please. I want box. I have so many gems. Let's get rid of this. I can just stare at my gems. I have 999 gems. I have so many pages of gems. I have 43 pages of gems, Konami. Give me a box. I need to spend. I don't want to spend money. I want to spend gems. But they just keep releasing structure decks, which is, I mean, fine. The structure decks are cool. The other thing is as well is that the structure deck is fine, but it's another one of those you can only get one of them with gems, which really stinks. Like, I still have 10 of those to pull as well, which I just have no reason to pull. But yeah, only being able to get one copy of Legend of Dark Magic without spending real money just really sucks. It just really sucks. My anniversary gems expire on February 11th, so I hope we get something before that. I mean, I doubt we're going to get it before then. I'm saying we're getting a new box next month. I think we will get one next month. I think it'll be towards the end of the month is the problem. And yeah, it's kind of scummy that we have to pay actual cash. Now, to be fair, again, the cash that we spend isn't that bad. Especially you do get one at reduced cost. But a lot of people play this game completely free to play. And they kind of rely on... I feel hesitant to call them whales, but a lot of people that like to spend a lot of money. They rely on that being Konami's income so they can play as free-to-play players, which then just give other people the ability to, you know, still enjoy the game as free-to-play. But yeah, I feel super bad for the free-to-play players. Could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. And I think that's something we always have to look out for, Dom, which is, again, Konami could be so much more cutthroat. Although I don't know how much they could do without people getting turned off and just quitting the game. But yeah, I think all in all, I'm still excited that we got this deck. I think Rush needed something to spice it up, and where we keep getting so infrequent boxes, we need something to keep us going. Now, obviously, what we'd really like is just more boxes, but you know, Konami can sell these structure decks. If they just keep putting out these structure decks, they can charge for them. So, but that's enough chit chat. It's time for serious time. We're going to jump into some King of Games. And this is another thing, is I was really enjoying playing Speed, and I still want to play more Speed. But new Rush stuff. I can't not play new Rush stuff. There's going to be videos to make, and the content's just fun. I want to play with new Rush cards, but also, I'm really enjoying Speed. I want to finish playing Speed. So what we'll probably do is play this all of today, and then on Thursday go back to playing Speed and see if we can't get into that legend rank. That's what we're probably going to end up doing. I unfortunately had to spend money for my Forbidden Droplets. Ooh, yeah, that's always a rough one. That's such a good card. Rush Time Wicked. Hey, Max, you've shown up just after we finished talking about all the other cool stuff, like Mizar and all the new leaks and stuff. You've shown up for Rush gameplay. I'm sure that's what you came for. We'll turn our overlay back on. Yeah, I hope Mizar ends up being good. I'm sure it will be to some degree, right? Right, this looks like a pretty straightforward set 3 pass. As long as we get a normal summonable monster, we should be good to go next turn. Well, the level cap increase is huge. Yes, the level cap increase is amazing. Because that's, you got to think of it like, that's 6 characters now that all have, I don't know how many gems it was in total, but it looked like a ton. So it's whatever that cap is times 6, which is really good. As well as getting the back row hate for a lot of them is going to be really, really cool as well. Oh, looks like we're playing against Spellcasters. We'll probably have the mirror quite a lot today, I would imagine. Thankfully, it wasn't terrible because gems, but wallet hurt. Like 1,200 per character. It's like 7k plus gems. A 7k is so many gems. There's so many. But the problem as a Rush player is, do I actually want that? Right? In the sense that I am going to struggle, I feel, to actually... I'll attribute this. To spend them all, right? So I'm probably going to try and not grind them out because I want to have the gems for the future box releases. Whilst at the same time, it's like, well, I want the card rewards, and they all have the third copy at the end, at the very end. But I don't think most decks will be playing 3 of each of those cards. So I don't think that's going to matter too much. I think we will hold on to them. Right. Let's see if he's got widespread. Does have the widespread. Okay. I mean, nothing we can do about that. And I think we will get in for this. That might have been a misplay, attacking that, but I don't want him to have the opportunity to cheat out lots of big monsters. Yeah, 150 gems. Very, very solid. I have everything maxed or had. I'm just getting 2 magical stream and then stopping. Same. I'm not leveling them until we get the new box because I'm Captain Gems. I obviously am using all these level up gems for upcoming mini box. I've been waiting for Dragon / Galaxy Photon support, so I'm hyped. Yeah, again, fully on board with that. Like, Galaxy is a deck that I've always really liked. How big can you get right now? Light, fire, dark. So you can get only up to... Question is, do we change it to defense? We probably don't, right? Problem is you can force a crash unless I get the wind into graveyard. So we are going to summon Dealer. We are going to use Dealer effects. We're going to pitch this because I want the wind in graveyard. That's an annoying draw. We'll use Curtain. Summon out Seven's Road. Set. Activate Seven's Road. So now this plays around Curtain. Not Curtain. No, Sparks. Curtain of Sparks? It is Curtain. There's two curtains. We're getting Starliege Seifert, which is a really good card in general. Buff to rockets. I'm just going to YOLO all the cards as soon as possible. If my gems hit expiry, I'll just randomly buy speed cards or something. I mean, that's one way to go Renegade, 100%. I cannot wait to play Mizar's deck. His event rewards are really good too so far. It's basically Chaos support if you think about it. I mean, yeah. I don't know how big Chaos cards are in Duel Links. I mean, I assume a lot of them are out. Like, I'm pretty sure Levian is out and stuff, right? Thinking about using Dark Sword in Volt Condor, since now the deck has better 2500 attack monster besides Dark Magician. I mean, Dark Sword is going to be pretty good in whatever you can play it in, right? And if any of the skill limits you from not playing stuff like Dragius or any of the other good limit 3s, then yeah, no reason not to. Oh, that's annoying. I guess that's kind of fine. Like, the trap card wasn't going to do anything anyway, other than maybe make these two trade. Right, give me a witch, please. No, no witch, but I can summon this out. Oh. No! No, I misclicked! I didn't realize I had the boy in my hand. Now what do I want to do? $34. How many have we got engraved? Light, fire, dark, wind, water. So if I do this, normal summon, tribute 1, tribute 2, activate the effect, set, good game. Also forgot to mention trading. We have cards like Levianeer, which can be played. You also play Melody of Awakening Dragon. So yeah, lots of searches now. It's a weird, like, I guess it's kind of fine no matter how you look at it. But I'm like, having 20 card decks and then also having a million searches. I'm like, how is speed not unbelievably consistent just all the time? Like, how do you not just always have full combo in every opening hand? I suppose they do limit the amount of search you can actually use, and then they do use the forbidden restricted list to stop that. Speed is evolving. I mean, it should be constantly evolving. I still hope the skill gets hit, but it's power crept. Also good thing the Nearship Bale skill is out of the tier list. The thing is, right, it being out of the tier list doesn't necessarily... This is a really rough hand. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to, like, stop seeing play. I guess it will de-incentivize people to play it, because a lot of people, I feel like, will Google what is best rush deck, or what is best speed deck, and then they'll probably find their way to a tier list, and if it's not on the tier list, then people will probably stop playing it as much. So there is kind of that. Well, part of me is like, this hand sucks. The other part of me is like, well, 7's Axe roll does kind of brick a little bit anyway. Ugh. That's not ideal. Alright, we're playing on hard mode. We start the duel with barely any life points. Right now, Constellas are popular. The tier list is mostly for tournaments, not ladder. Yes. Why haven't you got a 7 out so I can cheat out my Sword Dawn? Right, we summon. We cheat this out. We'll activate our skill. No. Activate the effect. I think our life points are too low to mess around with Torna. This will gain 2, which will not be enough to actually clear over. I think we still do go for this. If we get lucky with the mill. Which we didn't. Alright. At this point, though, I think I do just ignore the Summon Skull. Saying that, there was no delay. Right, we'll go for it. Okay, okay. No delay means we do clear the skull. Okay, okay, okay. Oh. So the one thing I would say to that, Walt, is that a lot of players that are just looking for a deck to play and aren't like super invested in the scene aren't going to really care what a tier list is for, outside of the fact that people say it's a strong deck, right? For my highlight on this upcoming mini box is going to be the new Playmaker skill. We're getting Cyburst Quantum Dragon. Will be very interesting. Okay, well, we have Curtain of Sparks for this. And we'll have Curtain of Sparks for this as well. Now, he had that back row before and didn't use it. And we're in a pretty good position here to just OTK. We got Cyburst Clock Dragon, which is his fusion, but now getting his Synchro variant. I hope we get more Code Talker support early this year. Yeah, Code Talkers are a weird deck. I've never like been super into them, but I do like appreciate them from afar. Would you look at that? Right, we'll tribute for this. Then I suppose it doesn't really matter. I guess it kind of does. We will activate the skill here. Boost this. And I am going to swap this out. Because if I die, if I'm dead anyway, so we might as well go for as much damage as we can. We don't have any protection left, so... He does have an active back row. Okay, it's Recital. That's fine. Still dead. With him getting an EX structure, mainly it's one of the monsters they have called Code in the name, so like Decode Talker. Ah. I saw that we were getting a new speed structure. The Spellcaster one, the Chrono something. Which I do hope that it ends up being good, right? The Duel Links Meta Aggro example deck has 3 Seahorse Carrier. Yep. Well, that's the thing. I feel like for the most part, Rush on DLM is sort of an afterthought. I think there are some people there that really do care, but like they don't have a Rush Meta Council. They have a kind of a Rush tier list section or whatever, like power rankings. But that is based entirely off of just every single tournament that's like ever been thrown in. It just picks it all. And so because Dragonic Resonance was as dominant as it was for so long, it's just like, yeah, that's just the best deck. There's nothing better. We'll summon Sork in attack. Not saying that Resonance is bad by any stretch, but Persona 4 music? It was Persona 4 music. We have just this massive playlist of just different tracks from games that I absolutely adore. That's a summon skull. I mean, I guess we do widespread this. It kind of sucks using the widespread this early. But I don't want any bullshit kind of happening here. How do we want to play this? We only have 3 bodies to actually use here. We can use Magic Curtain. So what I could do is summon. Summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate Curtain. Summon out SRM. Activate the effect. Because what this has done now as well is this has protected me from widespread. Because if he tries to use widespread, it will try and kill Seven's Road, who can't be destroyed. Then we pass. By the way, did you saw the summon animation of Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon? I have not seen that yet. Have you played Persona? Yes, I have played a little bit of Persona 3. I have completed Persona 4 and Persona 5. And I've played a little bit of Persona 5 Tactica, which I played when I went to Eurogamer Expo. But I've not bought the whole thing yet. My guess is he's going to attack over here and just kill Seven's Road. No reason not to. He's only got 500 life points left, so I'm going to flip that monster up and then try and kill him that way. So we'll tribute to summon this. Then I guess I will activate the skill here. Boost this up. No. Activate the effect. Change this to attack. Use the effect to weaken this. Now, I imagine you should struggle to stop all 3 of these attacks. There's 1. And there's 2. Now, are we testing the new structure? Yeah, we're testing some of the new structure stuff, Zaki boys. We're currently playing SAR Spellcasters. It's on YouTube. Highly recommend. And want to see reaction to it. Sandbox coming in with the sub. We've got to stop the Cuphead music for a second here, and we've got to enjoy this. Thank you so much for the subscription, Sandbox. We really do appreciate it. Goes a long way. 3 months in a row as well. Mad lad. Absolute mad lad. So on Random Fox's channel.
1993
I'll tell you what, we will
just subscribed for 3 months.
go and take a gander. Random blocks, the animation. Alright, let's open up our Chrome. Alright, yeah, let's have it in this little small one rather than making it any bigger. That way we can actually see it all.
Kaitoよ。今日こそは誰が真のギャラクシーアイズ使いなのか、はっきりさせてやる。
ミサイル。ここに俺たちの因縁に決着をつける。
デュエル。
さあ、ハンティングの始まりだ。
Let's take a gander. Now, how long is this going to take? Are we just going to immediately summon it? No, we're playing it out. Right, we'll skip ahead. Here we go. Tachyon Dragon! Oh. Oh, Galaxy Ice Second. It's too cool. It's like a Gundam Dragon. Come, that's not even fair. Like, it's so cool. Just look at this. Just look at it. How can people not love this card? It is absolutely beautiful. But, as always, whenever we do watch a video from my creator, again, we will post a link to their channel. So anyone wants to go and check out Random Blocks so you can see the animation for yourself, it's over there. But yeah, it does look really, really cool. Like, who wouldn't love that, right? I don't love it. Dragson. Come on, man. What are you doing, Dragson? How do you not love Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon? It looks so cool. It's so cool. It's like, it's an aesthetic, you know. It's okay. Oh no. Hello, Tomato. It looks good, but its effect is only battle use. I mean, yeah. I just think, like, aesthetically, I just love the way it looks. Like, it's so cool. Right, let's get another SAR game going. It's still really good, IMO. I remember I played Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon at one point, and I couldn't, like... Again, I was playing, like, in casual games, right? Against, like, people also not playing meta. But I couldn't, like, work out how to make good use of it. Thank you for the follow, Alterius Rainsworth. Really appreciate the follow. It will 100% see play. Tachyon is good if your opponents don't read it and they activate something in battle phase. Oh, looks like we're against spellcasters again. I mean, this hand's kind of fine. It comes down to what his back row is. Alright, we'll summon out Dealer. Activate Dealer. Get rid of this to draw. Alright, we're just going to summon, tribute summon, and with 2 back row, we are not attacking. We are just going to sit on this, hide behind our 2 back row, and wait. How has the new structure been doing? So I think some of the cards in here are really, really good. I think Sword Dawn, or Dark Sword Magician, as its new English name is good, but it's not even like what breaks the deck. I think Curtain of Sparks is really, really good. I also really like the new light spellcaster that we got that weaken the monsters. Rightful Magic, okay. Double Rightful Magic? Jesus, okay. We could have just attacked over. Okay, we will get rid of that though. There's no reason to let him completely walk all over us. Then we'll widespread this one. We do unfortunately have to let him keep a Dark Magician Girl. Now this is a hand, okay. It's turn 4 as well, which is very relevant. Shouldn't have anything to worry about here though, so we'll do this. Activate the effect. Weaken that. Tribute to summon. Activate our skill. Boost 7's Red Witch. I don't need to use it here. No, I'm not going to. Instead, we're going to just use 7's Red Witch here. We're just going to summon this out. I like having a 2500 attack monster and then a back row to scare him. Okay, he does have the widespread. which is fine. So we would have lost the SRM either way. Unfortunately, this back row doesn't actually do anything, but... We're getting the new Chaos Form Tachyon. I don't know. I don't hate it. Or on the other card, I just don't like it in Galaxy Eye. That's fair enough. Likely Mizar level up. Finally, I have something to do in Rush Duel again. Exactly, Golden. That's what we want. We want stuff to do. I'm about to take out the credit card and try it out. But I'm doing Magician Shuffle first. I lost my rights. You're right. Well, we do have Magician Shuffle deck ready to go as well, which we'll be playing after a few more of this. And we're against Magician Shuffle right now. Okay. Magic Curtain. So what's he going to do? Summon out Dark Magician, and then he's going to use another copy of Dark Magic Attack. Wait, if you're not playing Dark Magic Attack, why did you bother doing this? Why didn't you send Dark Magician to the graveyard, and then summon out Dark Magician Girl? Especially when you know I play Dark Sword Magician. I mean, I could just OTK him here if I draw the right hand. Yep, we just win. Behold my power. I mean, I don't need anything else. Yeah, we'll use the effect just for the hell of it. And bam, that's what, 6,000 damage? Yep. And that's just how we do. That's just how we do. Our opponent thought he was safe. He was not safe. Right, we'll save that replay. And there was one, I think the game before this is where we wanted to save. I'm only going to use gems on the new upcoming mini box. I mean, yeah, probably sensible. I nearly leveled all the characters already prior to the level up increase. Okay, yeah, that makes... Oof, you're about to floor me there with that one. How do you capture the structure to... How do you compare the structure to the flag mech structure? So, I would say, if you have 3 copies of flag mech, that feels like more of a complete deck. I feel like no matter what you do with the Sword Dawn Magician deck, outside of, I guess, the Magician Shuffle build, even in that build, I would probably still be playing 7-0 Magician. So I think it's a lot harder as free-to-play to make good use of this. But then again, as free-to-play, you want 3 copies of the Ace Breaker deck anyway. I think that's always going to be my issue with the Ace Breaker deck, is without the 3rd copy, that deck feels really mid. Because you really want to have your 3 copies of Ace Breaker, you want your 3 copies of Tough Striker, and you want your 3 copies of Aim Eagle. Without all of those cards, like all 9 of those cards, the deck's, like, the deck's strength is that it's consistent. And if you're taking away its consistency, now it's just a deck that makes 35 guys sometimes. And, like, that's still fine, but that's not, like, gonna do you very, very well in, like, a tournament or really good on ladder, for example. So Konami did it just in time. Huge. My favorite strat in the game is Triple Trio. Triple Trio. We're talking about Triple Threat Thunder? Or are we talking about... Zero expected that they have back row removal, plus it offers good bluff sets. Yes. I can definitely understand that. Oh, are we talking about... Oh god, are we talking about the trap card? I need to just check this quick. To make sure I know what we're talking about. Make sure I'm on the same page. We are on the trap card. Triple try it. So, when an opponent's monster declares an attack wave 3, face up level 3 normal monsters on your field. All face up monsters on your field gain 900 attack and defense at the end of the turn. The question is, how do you actually do this well, right? So you'd have to have the biggest level 3 monsters that you can, right? And is it normal monsters as well? So it's normal monsters that are level 3. So you're going to have 1300s, and then they're going to go gain 9, or at least these ones will, and go up to 22. So it won't even stop like a 2500 attacker. It's definitely a weird one, I'll tell you that much. I like to get Barrel Dragon, but don't want to waste the bundle. Yeah, exactly the same with me, Alterius. That's why on my main account, I still do not have Barrel Dragon. Which sucks, because I want it really bad, but we don't have it yet. We'll have to wait until the next box comes out. Especially as someone that actively like enters tournaments and makes content on the game. Like, I really want this card, but I'm not pissing my gems down the drain. I'm not doing that. I use it in Noodle Ninja. I mean, that would make sense, right? Noodle Ninjas are obviously a really cool deck. I really like Noodles. I hope we get some more Noodle support soon. Right, let's go again. I think we actually were meant to save a replay there. We didn't again. That's fine. We have not actually seen much Light Machine, and we haven't been seeing any... What's the other meta deck? Dragonic Resonance. Like today at all. Gavin's new level up card any good? So right now, think of it as a bit like Sphere Karibo. Not Sphere Karibo. Karubot. Think of it a bit like Currybot, where it can get other copies of itself back from the graveyard. In the future, when we get the more talismanic cards, it will be a lot better because you'll have more options to bring back. But right now, it's kind of like a Currybot. That's kind of how you have to think of it. Okay, this hand is not the most interesting. We'll go ahead and just set it all, and then we'll pass. But yeah, Talismanic will eventually get a fusion, and they will get a couple that are used in a couple of other different places. Like they get a... And they're all kind of 1000 attack, 1000 defense. That's kind of the Talismanic thing. Well, these are cards. How aggro do we get here? So I can tribute this out, then summon tribute over for that, then discard that. That feels bad. Alright. We will... No. What order do we want to do this in? If I summon this first, then I have to not end on a 14. Or this way I could use Light Ray Sorcerer. I think we're better off just keeping a 14 on board. Which means we have to summon Seven's Road first. So we'll get rid of a light, and we'll get rid of a fire. Then we're going to summon out this 12. We're going to get rid of another light. Now we're going to activate our skill. To boost this attack. Not that really matters. We're going to activate the effect. And here, I think we're actually going to discard Curtain of Sparks. I'm going to flip this one up. I'm going to activate this. Flip this up. Go to battle. We're going to get in for 2000 damage. We're going to go for this. I'm going to swing over this. So the reason we did it this way is that this is full combo next turn. Seven's Road Witch gets us to Seven's Road Magician. If our entire board empties, we just need any normal summon. Into Witch, discard, get out Seven's Road. This goes up to 28. Seven's Road have got big. That's all we need. That's neat. Yep, yeah, pretty much. Level up rewards make friends. Fiends. Auto-corrected in my brain there to friends. Makes fiends pretty good right now. Bouncing stuff to the hand is crazy in Rush. So, it is and it isn't, right? Putting stuff back in the hand can be really, really good. If your opponent's bricking, right? If your opponent has like a widespread and you put it back in their hand, they're still just going to widespread you next turn, right? So it doesn't deal with the problem, it delays the problem. If your opponent's bricking, it's fantastic, right? Or if your opponent bricks the following turn, it's also absolutely fantastic. The question is, how often is that going to happen? Against some decks, that will happen more often than not, and it does require just a lot of RNG to just kind of hope that that happens. But if your opponent is bricking and use the Fiend one or the Psychic one, both absolutely fantastic. Because the Psychic one puts it to the top of the deck, but you're drawing it next turn, so it might as well be in your hand. It doesn't really make any difference. Basically the same thing. You know, unless you have cards that discard from the hand, or you shuffle the deck, or something, etc., etc. Puts back Widespread Ruin like nothing happened. That's exactly the thing, right? If you had a destruction effect, the card is just gone. You don't have to worry about it anymore. If you put it back in their hand, you're saying, I don't have to worry about it this turn, and hopefully you brick on it. So it's like, it can be really good, it can be not. It only puts it on top of the deck, lol. If only it puts it on top of the deck. Well, that's what the Psychic one does. Thanks for the follow, Jappy. So the Psychic one puts it on top of the deck and costs 500 life points. The Fiend one puts it back in the hand. Basically the same thing, so you know. I just found out you have a Twitch. The new update's pretty neat. Can't cog with Magician Shuffle. Got cog, sorry, not can't. Got cog with Magician Shuffle and Bender Break as a 2500 defense. Whoa, nice. 500 life points isn't bad. Yeah, especially in a deck that wants to lower their own life points. 500 life points is arguably pretty good, right? It turns on... What's its name? Roman Pick? Turns on Roman Pick. So, you know, that's something. Is this the one we wanted to save? I think it was. I hope that was the right one. But we have played enough SAR. I think it's time we swap to a different deck. So, I guess I'll ask you guys, what would you rather see? Do you want to see me play Dragon Casters and try and see how this feels with Curtain of Sparks? Or shall we play the Dark Magician Shuffle build? Which is probably a bit more interesting. Has a lot more of the new cards, and this is probably the deck kind of as it was intended to be played. Psychic needs a boost. Gonna climb for 10 mins with Noodle Ninjas and level 3 beatdown. Nice. No Dark Magic Attack. So, Dark Magic Attack is a weird one. First off, we don't want to hit too many spell traps, especially considering we're playing so many high-level monsters. And the other problem that I have with Dark Magic Attack is it's really good when it's really, really good. But when it's not, right? And what I mean by that is you can only use it where you've got Dark Magician. Now, you can get access to Dark Magician from the graveyard, which is something, but then you still have to like get it out on the field by tributing 2 monsters. And I think I would rather just have the tempo plays of trying to just blast my opponent with the stuff that we've already got. And that's kind of what we're going to go with. So I think we're going to try this out as is. Again, this is our first draft, right? This is not the finished deck by any stretch. We will be testing out lots of different things with it. But for right now, this is what we're going to be going with for now. I'd rather see you play Light Machine. I mean, we could get to Light Machine eventually. But right now we want to try out the new stuff that we're playing. That came out today, right? I recall dueling that deck. They shove 3 of them. Oh, so about Dark Magic Attack. It's DM o'clock. I think you should try out the new spell later. Lets you play more bosses without bricking. But we are playing it. We got 1 currently. The problem is the life point cost is really, really steep. And if you draw multiple copies of it early, it doesn't do anything for you. Oh, looks like we're against a VTuber. No idea who this is, but... Thanks for the follow, Alquiz. I'm probably butchering that name. Hey, we're on an 8-win streak. Just in time to swap to a new deck. We're going second, which is probably good. We can straight away bin Dark Magician to the graveyard as well, which does give us 2500 attack DMG immediately, which is quite nice. Yeah, the balance is hard. Yeah, that's always going to be the tricky thing in Rush, right? Is do I have too many spells? Do I have too many traps? Do I have too many high-level monsters? It's always going to be... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Light Machine's coming out. Tributes both for the Barrel Dragon. That's very awkward for us. The main issue is those back row. Oh, hello. Okay, we'll activate the effect of our skill first. We'll reveal that we have Dark Magician Girl. We'll grab out the Dark Magician. And then we're going to just throw Dark Magician into the grave. Next up, we'll special out Sword Dawn. We'll summon out our Sorcerer, activate its effect, weaken this. Then, we'll tribute over for the Dark Magician Girl. Now the question is, does he have 2 cards to stop us? We're gonna assume he doesn't have both cards to stop us. So we'll swing with this. I imagine he'll have at least 1 back row to protect. We're gonna pray he doesn't have 2, because we're gonna attack. Did he have 2? Right, he did not have 2. Okay. So this is fine. We're in a pretty good position. We have Curtain of Sparks set to protect us. We have the SRM for the follow-up. The only issue here is I would like to... Oh, that's a bit annoying. The main issue here was that we don't have any other monsters to protect our life points if he does go a bit ham. Yep, 3 Dark Magic attack, but didn't have enough resources to beat Flag Mech. Light Sorcerer of Sanctity is also a relatively new card in Physical Rush, right? Yeah, it is. It's relatively new. I think it came out mid last year, maybe towards the tail end. Unfortunately... Are you tributing this? Otherwise, I don't really see a point in getting this little boost out. Okay, we are tributing it. Oh, we are playing Rhino. Okay, and he's got a full board as well. He got maximum value off of Ghost Cyclone on top. We are getting a little bit unlucky here, in the sense that our opponent has had kind of exactly what they wanted. But, saying that, we have just drawn this, which is really strong. So we'll summon out the Dark Sword Magician. Then the question now becomes, do we just throw Torna out willy-nilly? I don't think I want to. But what I can do is use Seven's Road. Oh, that's a really annoying mill, isn't it? I mean, I guess we'll just go for this. No back row feels really bad, though. We're already feeling the lack of SAR. Just being able to boost up to 2400 attacks, just really good on 1 tributes. I don't remember it from any sets. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, by the way, I buy the Boral and Sword Shield bundle. So the Boral bundle 100%. The... Oh, okay. We just win. We take that. Another ad! It's an ad! It's ad time! Everyone who doesn't have ads, this is our secret time that they cannot know about. Everyone who does have ads is watching ads and thus is not here. Alright, we'll jump into another one whilst we wait for the ads to finish. Shh, Dragson. That's our secret time. We don't tell the others about what we talked about during the ad time. But yeah, should you buy the Boral? I would say the Barrel Dragon. The Barrel Dragon bundle is a fantastic investment for right now. It's really good. The other one I'm less excited about. I don't know if I could hard recommend getting that bundle. It is probably still worth it to pick it up anyway, just because having that one card is not the end of the world, and I'm pretty sure financially it's not much different. So I generally just say, like, get all the bundles, but if you're like at a really tight gem budget, then maybe not. The Sword and Shield bundle got me some wins with Bender Break and Dark Magician Girl. That's the thing. If you're playing stuff like Bender Break, obviously it's going to do a lot more. Right. I mean, I guess we're just going to get this out, right? We can't just not play anything and just have a load of high level stuck in our hand. And this is an okay board. The main problem is our opponent is also playing Spellcasters, so they are basically hoping we leave a bunch of monsters in attack mode so they can get to our life points in one big push. If he summons out Seven's Robe Magician, we're going to be in a really tough position. If he doesn't summon SRM, we'll probably be okay. Also, if you didn't dig too much in the recent mini-box, yes. Right, there's the Dark Magician. Sends Dark Magician Girl to graveyard again, so I'm guessing we are going to once again be playing Dark Magic Attack. See, this is what I don't like about Dark Magic Attack. I like that you have a card that can block your opponent's back row. I don't like that people keep throwing Dark Magician Girl into the graveyard and hard tribute summoning out Dark Magician in order to get to that back row hate. It's like, if he plays Dark Magic Attack now, there we go, that's fine, right? You've managed to out my guy, but if you didn't do that, you could have just had 2 2500 attacks and an extra 2 cards. That is a very unfortunate draw. I think here we have to just do this, as much as it sucks. And then if he has Curtain, You just had widespread. So he had everything, is what you're saying. Yeah, we just were not meant to win this duel, unfortunately. Our opponent has utterly sacked the crap out of us. There's naught we can do here. Got to go see you later. Thanks for stopping by, Goldazoa. I feel that trap is useless anyway. Most of the boss have low defense. It's not too bad, depending on what you're playing and what you're against. If you're playing, for example, warriors, it's going to be a really, really good trap card. I mean, we're just dead, right? No matter what we do here. Yeah, we're just surrender this. Unfortunately, our opponent sacked us there. We had 2 high levels stuck in our hand, and our opponent drew absolutely everything they needed in the correct order. That's not really a good indicator, unfortunately, of how this deck's going to perform. So hopefully we'll get into a bit more balanced game here, and we can actually see what the deck can do. Probably running Spell Recovery to recycle the Dark Magician Girl. I mean, yeah, but then it's like, well, how many of that do you run? And if you're playing just the one of it, well, then it's just a one-off, so you might just not see it. Like, it just seems like a flawed strategy. It's like, I'm going to purposely throw away a lot of cards just to play Harpy's Feather Duster, which sometimes will be really good, but a lot of the time will be really, really bad. What's the deck look like? We can take a look at it after this game. But again, this is just our first draft of the deck. Right, tributes 2. Summons out D and Keto. Okay. Which means we can go straight into Sword Dawn. Or Dark Sword. It's going to take me so long to get used to Dark Sword Magician's new name. Gets back Kanan. And uses the effect to gain some life. Okay. Another Sword Dawn, okay. So we'll start with this. Unfortunately, can't do a second one. So normal. Tribute. Normal. Activate the effects. Pitch the Sword Dawn. Change to defense. Go to battle. So this is fine. You shouldn't have anything that can stop that. Then we go for this one. Is this only the turn it's summoned? Yes. In which case we will just go over this one for max damage. Then we'll attack over this. And then we'll pass. Archfiend's Summoning Flute helps with getting Dark Magician on the field. Dark Soul, its original name. So, Dark Soul Magician's original name was Sword Dawn Magician. That's what kind of I've known it as for the longest time. Archfiend Summoning Flute is a weird one. I mean, we can take a look at it. I'm not, like, opposed to trying out anything. But I've never been a huge fan of Archfiend Summoning Flute. Feels like setting Seahorse would save more life points instead of normal summon it to get D&Q's effect. Yeah. I suppose he doesn't know I'm going to, like, spam out a lot of attack monsters here. Oh, Triple Threat Thunder this early. Okay. Okay. So he can clear 2 monsters. So he's going to clear Torna and he's going to clear Dark Sword. That's still kind of fine. We still have attack superiority here. That is a very unfortunate draw. Like, what do I do with this? I think we do need to just get some of this out of the hand. Like, this was all set up for us to just win this game, and we have just bricked to high heaven. That is so sad. I mean, this is going to happen, right, when you play this many high levels, but... Alright, let's see what our Aqua opponent has for us. Party, party, party. Okay, so he's going to gain some life. He just draws 5, it's done. Oh, it's never just done in Rush. There's always bullshit. Oh, that stings though. Oh, okay. How big are we going to go this turn is the question. Let's go Fever. Just the one? Did he misplay? What? Okay. He's really scared of something. He's really scared of our crackback, I guess. Alright. Activate our skill. Reveal this. Grab this. Send it to grave. And we'll summon. Summon. Normal summon by tributing. Go to battle. Swing. And he's got his widespread. Of course he does. We'll swing in here. We've just got these 2 bloody bricks stuck in our hand and I can't do anything. Then we'll pass. I think there might be new leaks. Let's take a look. Have a look if there's any new leaks. I'm not seeing anything new that we haven't already gone over. I think it's all the leaks we've already looked at, I think. Ow. Okay, we're still alive, which is good. Now the question is, how deep do we go? We'll go 1, 2. Did we drop the Sword Dawn? Because it is harder for him to get over. Daybreak card. Have you seen how we've been doing? Right, swing over this. I think we are going to try and go for the defense monster, because I think he probably has the barrier. Yeah, so he's going to use the barrier to protect his defense, which is completely fine for us. Right, we've got one of our bricks out of our hand. We have the SRM for the crackback if we live past it. The problem is we could just die out of nowhere at any point here. Tribute. Torna. Torna does out Dark Sword Magician. Sets another back row. Scary. Alright, Torna. Changes Sword on to defense. Can't kill both though, so we do get to keep Gazelle at the moment. Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, that doesn't do anything for us, right? Alas. Okay, well, we summon. We activate the effect. We will weaken. Does it matter? Whatever I weaken is losing 300 attack, which is not enough to be relevant around a barrier. So I guess we will just weaken this. Then we'll tribute. Get out Dark Magician Girl. Set. Battle. Swing into the Torna. So he has a barrier. We know he has a barrier. I think I value keeping the Gazelle on the field more than I care about trading with these two. Yeah, I care more about keeping this. So we could take his Torna back, or he could take... He's just going for both Seahorses. So he's looking to try and do one big play to end the game. That's what he's going for. We'll see if he finds it. Because he needs, like, a double Dean Keto play to really try and just kill me in one go. The other problem is deck size, as he's stalling this out quite a lot. Okay, carrier effect. Grabs the Kanan. Monster Reincarnation. So now we're going to go for the Dinkito. Or he could go Torna, if he's really worried about my back row. No, straight to Dinkito. Okay. Where do we go from here? Could be 2. Summons out the Dinkito. So he could discard to gain 1,000. He could summon another monster. He could summon out another Seahorse that he could have ripped. Got another card back to hand. Tribute both. Get out another Dinkito. Summon out like a Kanan. Use both effects. Discard some cards to gain a ton of life. Goes to the Hammer Crush. So that's another card from hand gone. What traps is this guy even playing? Just like 2 barrier. Okay. There's another Kanan. And a back row. Okay. Still has a back row left after all of this. How many spell traps is this guy running? Up to 32. There's no real reason to stop this, is there? Yeah, we just take this. That was the reason to stop it. I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. Because we always do this anyway, right? Right, we're going to do this. Summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Tribute to summon. Activate the effect. We can only do this once, because we're dead after this. Now we go in with the 39. The only thing he can have is a barrier, right? And that is how we send Mimi to the Shadow Realm. Nice. Well. 7's Red Magician, it turns out, is still a pretty good card. Sure, we'll save that replay, why not? GG from Fufufu. See, your bricks were better than theirs. I mean, I think if they had put more pressure on early, they could have killed us, but they were constantly expecting us to have a crackback. They were like, oh, but he's just going to summon out a Sword Dawn into a 7's Red Magician, pump up to a ton, and just kill me. But if they had realized that we had bricked and just went attack mode earlier, I think they would have just won that. Oh wow, if you have all the skills in the game and a skill ticket turns into 50 gems. Ooh, that's neat. I mean, I have nowhere near every single skill in the game, because there's a million speed skills for me to get, but... Hello, Dark Magician. Did we just summon Dark Magician here? It doesn't seem like a great idea. It's kind of funny, though. The question is, do we care about having Torna in hand? I'll tell you what, we'll activate Mystic Dealer. We will just send Torna. I like that better. I'm going to summon this in attack mode. And that's because there are a lot of hands that can't out this. Now, is our opponent going to have one of those hands? I don't know. But also, if he is playing the Warrior deck, having a 25 out already is pretty good. It does get beaten by Red Eyes, but that's fine. Okay, there's a Sword Dawn. So it looks like we're against Dark Magician then, just playing as Gavin. Well, the 7's Road skill ticket will be easier for you to turn into 50 gems. Ah, okay. 2 Sword Dawn Magicians? Man, that's crazy. Hey, look, it's Sword Dawn Magician. I mean, I guess we do this now, right? No reason not to. And we'll summon. We'll summon. And we'll set. And then we'll set. Right, let's see if he's got anything to protect him from this. So if he doesn't, get him for 15 and get him for 1,000. Then we just pass. Now he's already gone through 2 Sword Dawns, so you get them from the new level ups, by the way. Oh, okay. So are they specific? Are they like, this is only... Because I saw that there was a skill ticket, but I was like, is Jordan's 3rd Sword Dawn? Or his 3rd Sword, or Dark Sword Magician. I need to remember that new name. And then he's put them back in his deck. This man, in 11 cards, found all 3. He's cracked. Only for 7s. Oh, okay. In which case, yeah, then I have every skill, I think, so... Do I just, like, pop that guy? I kind of want to. Let's do it. Keeping these bodies on the board might just let me win the game. Looks like we really didn't need to. That's still fine. So I go Magic Curtain. Summon this out. Tribute to summon out Torna. Now, do I use Torna effect? We already have Lights in Grove, so I don't need more Lights in the Graveyard. So we always activate 7's Road either way. This can't be destroyed by trap cards. In which case we are just fine. Always got to save the good replays for the videos. Dark Sword, your restrictive Alpha Beast / Guanyan. Yeah, I mean, it does have like a similar type effect. Ah, man, I really miss Alpha. Guanyan is a weird one as well, because I've only played it, like, very seldom, and that was in a, like, progression type series. Bingo RTV. Let's see what Bingo RTV's got for us. Well, this might be another mirror. Juggler. So it's either set 2 monsters. I think we always try and get the hand empty, right? So I think we are going to summon out the Dark Magician. And we're going to put it face up, which again can be a bit of a red flag. Like, for example, if he has his own Light Sorcerer, he can weaken our guy because he's face up. But having this with a 500 shield behind it seems really strong. Silver Wolf. That's another one of those reducing our attack cards. Ah, double Silver Wolf as well. Okay, if he doesn't have anything that gets over 25, we're still fine. So if he just summons like Dragius. Let's end this man's career. Curtain of Sparks. Get out of here. Dark Magician. New best deck. That's very amusing. There's nothing I can really do with the skill, though. Can't use that, so I guess we just do this. Then we'll just do this. We'll go Magic Curtain. Did we have lethal if we had used Sword and Shield earlier? Let's think. It would have been an extra 800 plus 900. So it would have been an extra 17. So it would have been lethal if we had used Shield and Sword. We just started shotgunning plays without thinking. Well. Hammer Crush deal. Okay, okay. You got a 50-50 to hit the trap. Shotguns it. Discards Paku Paku. Misses the trap. Now, if he's good at maths, he can quickly work out that we had lethal last turn and missed it. Reincarnation. Okay. Takes back Dragius. That is not the card you want to be taking here, my friend. Then summons Silverwolf. So he had the Paku Paku Chew. And opted to not go into that. I think this guy might be a bit new. Seems to be making a lot of little mistakes. I mean, let's not draw this out, right? Dark Magic Attack! Alright, Nisu. Dark Magician is... I mean, it feels fine. Like, the main appeal... So obviously, there's a couple of different angles you can take with Dark Magician, right? The main thing we've gone for here is trying to just get Dark Magician into the grave as soon as possible, and then just have 3 2500 attack monsters that can be protected with a 500 combat trap. So we've gone for kind of a slow control variant, is the idea behind it. Obviously, again, you could just max out on trying to spam out Dark Magician and use Dark Magic Attack. That's kind of the other variation, but this is the build that we've gone for. And so far, we actually just keep ending up with Dark Magician in hand turn 1 and the inability to throw it to the graveyard because we don't want to just pass with a Dark Magician in our hand. Alright, let's summon Dealer. We're going to activate Dealer. I'm just going to immediately throw Tawna in the bin. And then I'm going to just set both of these and I'm going to pass. Because we want Dark Magician go on our hand for next turn to throw Dark Magician into the graveyard, and Dark Soul Magician can get special summoned in a lot of situations. It shouldn't be too hard for him to out this board. Mind you, if he leaves that set, then we're not going to be able to do everything we want here. I mean, I respect you wanting to get the card out your hand, and it is a little bit of extra damage, so that's fine. Right, we'll activate our skill. Reveal DMG. Add Dark Magician. Throw Dark Magician in the bin. With a normal. We'll just tribute out a 2500 attacker. And then get out 2500 attacker. Now, do we go for Big Dam or do we clear this defense monster? I think we're going to clear the defense monster just because if it's a Paku Paku Chew, which it was, we get punished for leaving it up. So we forego 1200 damage, but we got rid of his Paku Paku, which is what would set up his plays. If he has another Paku Paku in hand, he also can't use it because he still has All-Seeing White Tiger on the field. We have 2 big monsters and we have a protection for them. So this is looking pretty good for us right now. The only issue is the only way we get to his life points right now is if we draw out Tawna. None of those is Tawna. I think here I'm going to opt to maintain the 2 light monsters in our hand so we can get that combo when this gets broken, because this will eventually get broken, right? Let's not kid ourselves into thinking it won't. So we could have left 1 monster on the field to try and stop him Paku Paku chewing, but we also do need to get him on a lower deck count than us, and the only way we're going to do that quickly is if we attack into his monsters and get him to draw more cards. Right, there's the Paku Paku, but we again foresaw this happening. Uses the effect to put back the Silver Wolf, takes back the All-Seeing, but this is good for him to make some sort of big tribute play, but we have got 2 cards to protect our life points, so we should be fine regardless. Okay, Seven's Road Witch. Now it comes down to, is he going to actually have the Dark Magician here? SAR's fine. It's a little bit annoying because he can get the Seven's Road Magician big enough to attack over one of our 25s, but we don't mind too much here. We will still kill the SRW if she tries to attack into one of our 25s. Oh, we can make him trade. Alright, let's go for a trade. I do want that guy just gone. And we're losing our guy either way. And then let's get rid of your SRW as well. Now you have a very open board, which is what I like to see. Oh, that is the ultimate top deck, isn't it? Oh, look at that. When you're not skilled, sometimes you can just be really lucky and win. And sometimes it's just as good. So now behold this play. So we contribute 2 after weakening his monster, which is already really, really good. But we also have Magic Curtain, which protects us from Widespread Ruin. Because if our biggest monster can't be destroyed by traps, Widespread Ruin doesn't do anything. Go! That's all it takes. Yeah, Dark Magician seems pretty good. We're enjoying it quite a lot at the moment. I think I still prefer the SAR build, but Dark Magician build still seems decent. I'll be interesting to see what a free-to-play variant of this deck looks like with just 1 less of a lot of these cards, because I think this deck would perform pretty much the same. But saying that, we'd only have 1 copy of all the cards. We wouldn't have 2. I think if we had 2 copies of this deck, it would be really, really strong. This is a hand, isn't it? Jeez. I think we just tribute set and then pass. This is unfortunately a really bad brick. But we'll have to see if we can play out of it. Right, dealer comes down. Dealer effect. So we're going to cycle. He's on the Doriado. Where are we going from here? We got 1 tributed defense monster. The most defense it's likely to have would be 17. So the question is, does he play around that or not? Okay, we go into everyone's favorite Dark Sorcerer. Activates the curtain. Cheats out Dark Magician. We could Dark Magic attack here. Okay, he's not doing that. Okay, so he's not respecting a splat. Goes in for the 35. Now, we need some normal summonable monsters here, please, game. Is that just game? Right, shield and sword. Magician shuffle. I guess we'll reveal that we have this. We'll grab out Dark Magician Girl. We'll throw this in the bin. We will normal summon. We need to do this. No, I've misplayed! Okay, that's fine. We had lethal. Did we have lethal? 25, 25. Yeah, we had... Well, I guess we still technically might have lethal. Unfortunately, we forgot how Sword Magician worked, so we now just have to hope that its back row is nothing. Okay, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. We got there in the end. What is your deck list? Yeah, we'll throw the deck list up after this. We go to our overlay and get rid of that. And we'll go through the deck and kind of our reasonings for what we're doing in it as well, I think. So this is our deck list on the side here. And if we go to our deck editor, we will go through it a bit more in depth. So the logic of this deck and this Magician Shuffle deck is to make the most use out of Curtain of Sparks that we can. Curtain of Sparks is a really, really good trap card because 500 is a big number. So the best way to use this is to use it on monsters that are 25, because then even an Ancient Arise Dragon, which can go up to 3000, trades with your monster, which is really, really good. So what we're doing is we're trying to max out on the number of 2500 attack monsters that we can summon. So Dark Sword Magician is one of them, Dark Magician Girl is another, and we can almost guarantee this is going to be 25 all the time because we can get Dark Magician into the graveyard using Magician Shuffle skill. Taunt is in here basically just to get to our opponent's life points if they play monsters in defense mode. And then we have our Light Ray Sorcerer of Sanctity, which is a really, really strong new card and pairs quite nicely with our Magic Juggler to weaken our opponent's monsters by usually around 600. And 600 again is very, very relevant because it plays around Curtain of Sparks and it plays around the Barrier, which is obviously the most kind of generically played trap card at the moment. Where is it? Here it is. So that's why I really like Light Sorcerer of Sanctity at the moment and why it's so good. We also have Magic Curtain, which is a really, really strong card, but has quite a steep life point cost, as well as it won't be useful all the time, which is why we're only playing it at one copy. The main point of this deck is, again, just to have 2500 attack monsters protected with Curtain of Sparks, and just kind of play this slow, grindy control game, and try and kind of out-resource our opponent. And that's the strategy behind it. Now, the negative is that if our opponent goes on the defense, we have to rely on Taunt, and we have to rely on 7-Red Magician to actually kill them. But a lot of the time, that should be enough. So, with that, let's hop into another game and see how things go. So far, all of the new Spellcaster stuff has seemed really, really good. We've been really enjoying playing it, and I still do think the 7's Axel Road version is better, but the Dark Magician version is definitely fine. Right, let's see what our opponent has for us. I'm assuming this is going to be probably the Aquas again. The old set 3 pass. Well, at the very least, we can get Dark Magician into the graveyard here. Oh, a tribute set. Interesting. So we'll go ahead and use Magician Shuffle. We reveal that we have Dark Magician Girl. Add Dark Magician. Send Dark Magician to graveyard. Now, we do have a couple of plays we can make here. I'm tempted to use Magic Curtain just to try and fix the hand a little bit. We always set this. The question is, do we want to have so few monsters? I think we are going to Dark Magic Curtain out Taunt. As weird as it is, I just want 2 monsters on the field really badly. Right, we'll attack over this because it's the tribute monster. And we'll attack over this. And then we'll just pass. So this is fine. This guy Exodia'd me? Did you just get Exodia'd, Dragson? I don't think I've ever been Exodia'd in Duel Links, you know? I was saying that. I've been Exodia'd by Solomon Moto, the NPC, on Auto Duel. That's a Thunder the Thunder. Discard. Ooh. That's unfortunate. I'm assuming that's because you don't have a better play to make. Was it like a good Exodia deck, or did you just kind of get caught with your trousers down? Okay, we'll get rid of that. I'll protect Torna. Protecting Torna is well worth it. Right, we'll activate and send this. We'll flip this up, see what it is. 1500. Not the best thing I could have hit with that. I think we actually just keep both of these in hand here. I'll go for 15 on this. Oh, has he got Recital? He has got Recital. More clear anyway. Then we'll go to the end phase. This deck is looking very interesting. I'm guessing a Tough Strike is going to come down in a minute. That was a sudden end to the song, that's fine. He play cards that let him draw everything in his deck. Oh, okay. One of those, like, straight up FDK Exodias. And our opponent scoops. Okay. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do in that situation when you're staring down a Torna if you can't out it. I guess scooping is the answer. Let's see what our opponent's got for us today. What's it going to be? Is it another Yuga? Goshen from the UK. On the Yuga. With the Dark Magician picture. I'm guessing this is going to be a Dark Magician player. I don't like it. I don't think you're supposed to like it, Dragson. Ugh, and we're going first with this hand. Gee. Okay. I mean, we have to get as many of these out of our hand as possible, but let's hope we're just not immediately dead. Okay, Gazelle. Where do we go from here? We just Gazelle? Silver Wolf. Okay. The fact he's got Gazelle, though, means he's not playing any of the usual skills. Is this just going to be Hammer Crush Deal, but he's just playing Yuga? I just lost a Pierce in Resonance. I feel cheated. I mean, I would too. Okay, so we're... What this... Are we just playing... So we don't have to even be playing Yuga. We're just playing Dragon Casters. Now, that back row has to be widespread. Because there's no way it wouldn't be. And I'm still bricking. Holy... Am I just dead? Is there just nothing I can do? We've just bricked too hard. I mean, if he's got widespread, we were just super ultra mega dead. So he had a back row he could use. So it's probably a barrier. I mean, we'll play it out, see what he's got. But like, attack, and then he just needs 2,000 and we're dead. Like, almost any hand does it. Well, that doesn't do it. Yeah, so he is on Hammer Crush deal. Okay, so he's just playing Dragon Casters. Tribute both for a high level monster, and then that's game. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. When you brick so hard and you can't succeed. That's a shame. I would have liked to have had a good game with Goshen from the UK. Yuko from the US. Let's see what they got for us. What have you got for us, Yuko? Oh, that sounds a bit more playable. And that's pretty good for the follow-up. I think we're going to leave our Sanctity in hand. Set 2. Ooh. Alright, we'll activate our skill. Reveal our DMG. Grab the DM. DM to grave. Now, where do we go from here? We always tribute this. Tribute this. Activate the effect. Pitch one of our light sorcerers. We'll flip this up. Set this. Flip summon this. Go to battle. Swing him with the 25. Has the widespread. Not much we can really do about that, unfortunately. If he's got it, he's got it. And then we'll pass. So we got some good damage in. It would have been a really, really good amount of damage if he didn't have the widespread, just one of Legend Trap in the open. But again, what can we do about that, really? Oh, so we are actually just against Resonance. Okay, this is the first Resonance we played against today. Go on, go straight to battle. Oh, that's what we like to see. Don't pop my back row. There's no reason to let him know we have a usable back row, so we'll just toggle off. Can we kill? We can put him down to 0 attack, go for 1,000, 2,500, 3,700. We actually not kill. That's sad. We can put him really low, which I think is still worth it. Yeah, we'll activate the shield and sword here. Summon, summon, set, battle, swing over. Get him for the 12, get him for the 15. So we could have emptied our entire hand, but I still like holding on to this guy who can kind of get us out of a sticky situation that we might find ourselves in a later turn. And we still got 2 really good back row protecting us. On top of the fact our opponent has already gone through 2 of his Slayers. There's the 3rd. 18 cards left in deck and he's seen all 3 Slayers. He's been very lucky in that regard at the very least. Now, is he going to win the 50-50 is the question. If he loses the 50-50, we are in such a good position. If he lands the 50-50... Okay, to be fair, we toggled off, so he did go for the one that wasn't toggled, so it was kind of more in his favour to win that. We will, however, get rid of his other Smelly Dragon. Okay, any big guy. We didn't need all of the big guys all at once, but I guess that's fine. We already have DM in the grave. We can't get another one of them out, so we will just summon this. Activate the effect. I think here we just tribute the golem. Activate the effect. We'll send Dark Magician Girl to flip this up. We'll flip this. Tribute this away. Activate Magic Curtain. Summon out the Seven's Road Magician. Activate SRM. Go to battle. Swing. Now we shouldn't have attacked with this first because this loses to Recital. So this was actually the wrong order to attack in. And looking at this, we just win. It's just that easy, baby. I'm so happy we got Magic Curtain. Because Magic Curtain is a card that I've been wanting to come to Duel Links for a long time. I think it was actually in a High Lister video that we were talking about what cards would you like them to bring out early. And I said I would really like to see Magic Curtain come out. And lo and behold, here it is. Alright, let's see what our next opponent has for us. Another Yuga Mirror, who would have thought? There's so many Yuga Mirrors today. I think I'll stick to OG Spellcaster 7's Road after watching these duels. Yeah, I think SAR is the way to go. 7's XL Road, I think, is just so much more explosive. you can just like randomly kill people out of nowhere. The main draw of this deck again is going to be playing like a slow control game, right? And again, you could also put the dark magic attack stuff in if you want to go for that heavy back row hate. We've just opted to not do that for this. Right, we'll activate our skill. Reveal DMG. Grab out DM. Throw DM in the bin. Then we're going to summon, tribute out DMG. And then you're just going to put everything else in defense. We do not want to trade, especially when he's got lots of back row. So we will just attack his defense monster. That means he's probably, yeah, he's probably got widespread. Just opens the one-off. Feels bad, but what could he do? Now, he might have a dark magic attack back there, in which case he can pop our magic curtain, which is not the end of the world. Losing magic curtain is, you know, it's not a trap card that's going to protect us right now. So a trade for dark magic attack is probably not the end of the world. Dealer effect. What are you going to throw away, though? Oh, there goes the Dark Sword Magician. Summons out Sorcerer of Sanctity. Or Elsos. DMG comes out. Ah, he's getting a boost from my monsters! No! No! That's not fair. This is the first time this has come up. Also sucks that he just ripped 2 Dark Magician Girls off the top there. Oh, that sucks so bad for us. What is the play when he's got 2 back row protecting him? I feel like everything sucks no matter what we do here. Right, we summon out Light Ray Sorcerer. Summon out another one. We activate the effect. We reduce the attack of DMG. We activate the effect. Reduce the attack of DMG. We then... If we can summon out 1 attack over... Do we just hold on to this then? I guess we do. Because we're attacking over both the Dark Magician Girls anyway. Tough board to crack. Yeah, pretty much. If we had back row of our own that actually did things, we'd feel very confident. But where he's got Curtain of Sparks back there and we don't, and he's already used his Widespread Ruin, so he's already got massive value off of that. If we had trap cards, I'd be feeling really good about this. But with no trap cards, I am terrified. We've just not seen anything all game. Now, as long as he hasn't found his 3rd Dark Magician Girl, with 15 cards left in deck, we might be okay. Because of this as well, the way we played, he still can't just cheat out a Sword Thorn, or a Dark Sword Magician. We still don't know what the other back row is. It could be another Curtain. He should be playing around our curtains as well. Oh, okay. If he attacks into Dark Magician Girl, he's not playing around curtain, which is very greedy. Right, now he can play around curtain, so now we can just attack over this. The problem here is now he's going to tribute both of these for Sword Thorn. Or Dark Sword. Like clockwork. And this outs my whole board. Which does kind of stink. Typing for maximum? Yeah, maximums are going to be really cool when they do come out. I wonder what they're going to do with them. Because the general kind of thing with maximums when they first came out was that there was only really one good card into them. And that was... God, what's it called? Shock Dragon. Which had the ability to weaken their attack points by like 2,500, which is pretty good. Or 16. I forget exactly how Shock Dragon works. But... like, they slowly released more and more cards that could deal with maximums. Well, now our Magic Curtain doesn't work. Unfortunately, this is still not very good. Our weakening effect doesn't work, so we have too few life points as well. I don't think there's a point in trying to drag this out. We're basically dead no matter what we do here, so... And then... oh, nothing. Okay. Yeah, there was nothing we could do there. We lost too many life points too quickly to us bricking and him getting exactly what he needed. Unfortunately, again, it's another one of those games where that's not a good representation of how the deck performs, right? That was the outlier, which is a shame that we have to showcase them, but it is part of a TCG, right? There will be some games where you draw like shit and your opponent draws really well. Alright, let's see what's next. I think it's Gavin. And we are going first. This is a really awkward hand. I think we have to tribute set this, just because there's just so much that can go wrong if we don't tribute set here. Three-2 tributes is usually a death sentence. So, yes, but we do have Sword Dawn, or Dark Sword, who can just special summon itself. So, there is stuff we can do. Black Dragon Rising. Okay. Gonna reveal Black Dragon Chiku. Grab out Red Eyes. Where are we going from here, though? Do we just immediately shotgun it out? Looks like we are shotgunning it out. I'm not interested in what the other three cards in your hand are, to be honest. Okay, that's tribute fodder then. That's a little scary. Tributes both. The Royal Rebels Heavy Metal doesn't get the effect off. Okay, this is pretty much as good as things could have gone for us, realistically. I mean, we're still fine. We just are a little bricky. If we had one normal summonable monster, we'd be feeling so much better about... Oh, I'm an idiot as well. Why did I do it in this order? I guess this gets this out of my hand, which is still fine. And this way we do get Dark Magician Girl out of the hand now, which just thin down the number of cards that we're using. Because I don't really want to end with another 2 tributes in my hand. Alright. I think it's hard for me to just immediately say that was a misplay or not. Because this way we do have less bricks in hand for the following turn, but it also does mean Dark Sword Magician is just kind of gone. And we have now, I suppose no matter what, we would have just ended with one monster. Because we can't play around Heavy Metal, like no matter what we do. If he has another one, he can just pop this, and there's now what we can do about it. Now, if he does just go for a Red Eyes attack play, we are kind of fine. It's if he goes, bring back Red Eyes, summon out Red Eyes, tribute for heavy metal, that's when we are now probably dead. But like we said, the only way to play around that was just not to summon. It would have been like just to set Dark Magician go and leave him with a 2500 attacker. Right, where are we going? Tribute that. Oh, okay, but you can't attack me directly if you use this effect. So I'm kind of still just fine. So he's got 2 high-level monsters in hand now. I'm not really sure where he's going with this. So we're going to use Chick. Summon out the Red Eyes. Then you could summon Tribute both. We have a set, so you're just going to keep that in hand? No, we are going to Tribute. Okay. So I'm fine though. I'm not going to lose any life points this turn. What? 400 life is not worth it, bro. You should have just killed my guy with your effect. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just win the duel. Tribute 2, summon out Juggler, set, activate Seven's Road, go battle, swing. Mate, you need a Mirror Force to not die here. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. It was cool to play against a Royal Rebels. We haven't seen any today, but he misplayed really bad. What can you do, eh? We just go again. I hope we find another Royal Rebels player. We haven't played against any, and I really want to see how this deck does it against like every matchup. I think Royal Rebels is going to be a tough one for this deck, specifically the Dark Magician variant, because we keep bricking on a lot of monsters in our hand, which means that we are not summoning as many monsters as we'd like to each turn. Okay, another Yuga Mirror. Who would have thought on Yuga Day of all days we'd run into a Yuga? What is this hand, bro? Alright, we're gonna YOLO a DMG onto the board because we cannot end with 3 tributes in hand. That is just something that cannot be allowed to happen. Right, let's see what our opponent has for us. Starting with sets. Now, are these tribute fodder, or is this going to be set pass? And a back row. Okay, looks like we're passing. There's the 3rd DMG. Not super useful right now, unfortunately. But we can reveal a DMG. Bin DM. Summon Gazelle. Tribute over it. Set another back row. Go to battle. And then we'll see if he's got... Looks like there is no thingy in our future. Now, if that last monster is the Paku Paku, then I'm going to be sad. If it isn't a Paku Paku, he now cannot Paku Paku. Okay, so no Paku Paku. It was the Silver Wolf. There's the Paku Paku just to get the reduce. Rage of the Beasts. Okay, which one's he going to go for? He does hit Curtain of Sparks, which is still a good card to hit. Ultimate Bond. Okay. Looks like someone's been watching my video about this deck. Don't know what you just put back. Paku Paku the second, I guess? Who's got the Aim Eagle? We're just going to hard summon this out, so we still have Aim Eagle in hand. So we're going to use the effect. Discards the Aim and the Aim. Which means that last card in his hand is not a monster, it's got to be a back row. And no. It didn't matter which back row he hit, as long as he didn't hit both of them. So we always had one that protected us there. I just want to play the game. I could have, like, potentially just killed him here, but instead our deck has chosen war. I mean, there's nothing else we can do other than just go straight to battle, so we'll go for 25. And it was widespread. Alright, we just need to not get killed. My ultimate Bond is Daniel Craig. I do really like Daniel Craig. I think, for me, it's a toss-up between Daniel Craig and... God, what's his name? Having that big old brain fart moment. What is his name? Sean Connery. Sean Connery, that's it. I've never been a huge fan of Pierce Brosnan's. Ruin for a Ruin is fair. Ruin for a Ruin is fair, but not while I've got 4 Tribute Monsters in my hand. At that point, Ruin for a Ruin sucks. Okay, now we can play the game. Summon. We summon. We activate the effect. We weaken you. Tribute out the 3rd DMG. Go to battle. Barry is fine. Is turn 2 for Rush just objectively better considering negates aren't a thing yet? No, so generally going first is considered better because you have more cards to work with. So if you go first, you start out with 5 cards. If you can play your whole hand out, so if you like set 3 back row for example, and then 2 monsters, so that's your whole hand gone. Your opponent then only has 5 cards to out your 5 cards. And a lot of the time they won't blow up all of your back row. So any back row you have, you just have as extra cards for the following turn. So other than like skills and things, generally, unless you have a handful of cards you can't get rid of, so like Tribute Monsters for example, going first is considered better. Especially as we'll get deeper in and we have more things we can do on turn 1. If he misses this Barrel Dragon, this will be huge. We just need him to miss the Barrel Dragon. Do not hit this. Okay, okay. This is unbelievably big for us. Yeah, thanks for the follow, JJPG, or JJP Gamer. Brosnan is my number 2. I like Tsushima. I don't like dislike Brosnan. I just think he's not very, like, suave. Alright, let's get this crap out of our hand, shall we? Bang for 18. Bang for 16. Bang for 25. That's going to be the game. Unfortunately, there again, our opponent did make a couple of misplays. Like, nothing like crazy, but like also the game ended up falling a little bit flat because of that. Oh, we haven't played against many light machine decks today, though. Let's go again. Let's see what we could find. I've always been quite a big fan of Roger Moore as well. And Timothy Dalton as well. Can't forget Timothy Dalton. Current win streak 2. Another big old brick hand. The issue here is we do kind of need to keep DMG in our hands. We can't even distribute it out. Thank you for the follow, humongous. Oh, is he going to win the 50-50? He loses the 50-50. That's what we like to see. I also really don't like the whole, like, just play Hammer Crush without the skill. Like, I don't like the idea of just discarding a bunch of cards. Again, it's really good if you're winning. If you're behind, though, it's catastrophically bad. I think, as weird as it is, I think I widespread this just because I have 2 bricks in hand, and there's a chance I don't have a play next turn without tributing out the Dark Magician Girl. Okay. To reveal Dark Magician Girl, grab Dark Magician, send Dark Magician. Well, then summon out the Sork. We're going to tribute out the Dark Magician Girl over the Sork. And that will be 4,000 damage. Which is nothing to sneeze at. Then we'll pass on that. Already 1 follow away from completing the goal. I mean, nothing happens when we complete the goal, but we are still only 1 follow away from completing it. Ghost Cyclone. So this guy's just on Ghost Cyclone and Hammer Crush. It's just a weird, like, pile deck. No strategy, only pile. Right, Carrier. Takes back Kanan. Summon out Kanan. Double tribute. Oh, single tribute. For Growl. Double tribute for Heavy Metal? Maybe? Okay. 2 cards left in hand is what's scary here. So we do get this popped. So we did play around this as best we could. And we do have the Sword Dawn for the follow-up. Or the Dark Sword. 2 back row. Only 1,500 damage. Okay. The problem is double back row and one of our attacks is a trade. We need to hope we draw something good here. It's not ideal. I think I really need to find... This is like such an awkward combination of cards. Where depending on what his back row is, doing anything could just be catastrophic. Chances are he's got the barrier. We already know he plays the barrier. So do we just play around the barrier? But then he's probably also got... Man, this stinks so bad. There's just nothing good here. Alright, we do what we can. We're gonna play around the barrier, and we're going to not play around widespread, because we cannot play around widespread. The way to play around widespread is to not to attack, which just invites getting killed by another thing. Yeah, so there's nothing we could do here. And then those two crashing does nothing. Which means, yeah, there was nothing we could do. Unfortunately, this is just a massive brick in our hand. We needed to get a discard draw so we could get out the Sevens Road. That way we could have attacked with the Sevens Road and then gotten the widespread out and then possibly crashed, or just be able to maintain. But only having one monster out, or just not attacking at all, invites a second heavy metal, which like super punishes us. I've tried this Dark Magician deck and I hate it. Where's the damage and counterplays? Yeah, I don't... All in all, people really want Dark Magician to be good, but I think without having the... God, what's it even called? Thousand Knives. Without Thousand Knives, I think the Dark Magician deck is a little bit DOA. We're not dead. Unfortunately, a lot of our effects just got turned off, like our magic curtain. Alright. We can summon this. Summon this. We activate the effect. We're going to weaken this. We'll summon this. We'll go 1, 2. Activate this effect. Go to battle. We can then swing into this. The fact he's using a barrier here tells me he's got another barrier. Why would you use barrier here when you could save it for this? So he must have a second barrier. But... oh yeah, we'll just play around it, right? We'll just swing here. But then that's 3... we can't leave it up. We cannot leave it up. We have to attack into the second barrier. Because if he summons out another big tribute monster, we cannot deal with it. Because if he gets out 2 monsters, that's how we die. This way we at least guarantee it dies. So our win con is that he doesn't summon out 2 big monsters. But if he summons out Growl as well, we're still fucked. So we're a little bit... we're in a little bit of a sticky situation no matter what. We die to another heavy metal. We die to a lot, Mungus. We die to so much. Hello, Mizu. Welcome on in. Unfortunately, we have horrendously bricked all game. So it's been very difficult for us to really establish anything. Like, that was kind of our, like, stabilized turn. And he had 2 really good trap cards to protect him. So, like, that's just the way it goes sometimes. We have had just a big pile of tribute monsters in our hand all game. I mean, we're just dead to Red Eyes, right? So we can just fast forward this. That's the issue with the Dark Magician variant of this deck. It's so bricky. Like, there's just... I feel like you need all of the bricks that are in here. But so many games we just open with just unplayable. And it just feels so bad. Not sure how I feel about this deck. The new boss monster feels underwhelming. So I think the new boss is fine. I just think this is the correct way to play the deck. Right? SAR feels fantastic. Right? You can use the Seven's Red Witch to just spam out Sword Dawn or Dark Sword and Seven's Red Magician. The Light Ray Sorcerer of Sanctity still feels really good with Magic Juggler. And Dark Sword Magician is just here to be a special summon body, which is another thing that Magic Curtain does for it. So it's like really good. So 3 normal BLS coming to a Glue Eyes Meth Dragon near you. I mean, I'm excited for a weird normal Buster... not Buster Blader, god. Brain not worky. BLS. I am quite looking forward to that. So, we'll see what else actually ends up being. Being a 2500 Sidra is not enough. How this variant seems cool. Now this variant seems cool. So this is what we were playing at first. and we only lost to hard bricking, this felt really, really good. We're able to just spam out monsters, like get out 7's Red Witches at 28, get out SRM or Dark Sword Magician like really, really easily, use the Magic Curtain to get a third, just big guy out, and it all just felt really, really good. After we had just a ton of wins with this, and we got so many replays for a video, we then were like, okay, let's try a different deck. So that's why we did move over to the Dark Magician deck and why I've been playing this. But this version just feels so much worse. Like, I do not really like the Dark Magician. I think once we get 1,000 Knives, maybe this becomes playable. Until then, this feels like it can still win games. We've still been winning a ton with this deck. Let's not undersell it. But it's very inconsistent. What would you replace a second Torna with if you didn't have it? I think arguably I would replace it with another Wind, just because I want to try and make sure my 7's Road can always try and cap out. So I would probably just put in like the really bad Wind guy, just a Spell Archer. Just because I like having a minimum of 2 of each attribute, and that would be a second Wind. If you were going for something more specific, like useful, you could go for like a Dealer, right? If you want just more for that. Because the whole point is you need to get a Spellcaster in the graveyard to turn on Curtain of Sparks. That's kind of the main thing we're going for here. What about the spellbook that returns Spellcaster and draws a card? So if we're talking about the Recovery Force, where is it? This one. This is fine. The only problem I have with this card, the only problem, is it's another spell trap. And I don't want to go over 6. I think 6 feels good at the moment in Rush. And the whole point of this deck, or specifically this variant of the deck, is that we're trying to spam out 2500s, which means Curtain of Sparks becomes invaluable. We cannot get rid of Widespread. This card is like a mandatory card. And then Shield and Sword as our legend spell is really, really good, and we've won a lot of games off of it, which means the only flex spot we have is Magic Curtain, which acts as an unbrick card. So like, Recovery Force I would love to include, I just don't have room for it, is the issue. Like, I still think Recovery Force is a really good card, and it's really good to be able to recycle some of these cards back into the deck. Getting a draw is always really useful, but it's hard to just find space. That's kind of the main thing. Let's try taking out the 1 Torna, because it should theoretically unbrick us a little bit. You don't like to play Spellcaster back row proper. Oh, Popper. So we don't have it yet, is the answer to that question. We're only level 22. We might go and do that in a sec, though. So at the moment, we need to get to level 25 before we can use it. But when we get it, we will probably use it, but I'm not using the other ones yet. That's kind of where we're at. What we will do quickly, though, is we will just fire through this on auto-duel. So that when we're dueling, otherwise it lets us stack up another one. Let's see if our computer, our AI, can defeat good Yosh the Overcrusher. Now, my gut says maybe, but without the skill, because obviously the computer doesn't know how to use skills, probably not going to go well. Now, it's a good start. Way to kind of throw a card away, though. I mean, all things considered, this isn't looking too bad at the moment. Down to 15. Summons out the Beast Gear boys. Runs into the Curtain of Sparks. And that should be it. There it goes. But you would play it if you had it. So, it's awkward. The same problem shows up in that it's really hard to find room for spell traps at the moment. If I was trying to build the most competitive version of the deck at all, like in total, I would play SAR for a start. I wouldn't play the Dark Magician version. Then, when it comes to spell traps, I would probably take 1 curtain out. So I think 2 and the Widespread Ruin is fine. And then I would add in the spell trap hate, what's it called, Magical Stream. And possibly go up to 7 spell traps to have a second copy of Magical Stream. Because I think 2 back row hate feels about right. That way, we have 3 cards to protect us and trap cards, 2 back row hate, 1 card to try and just steal the game with Shield and Sword, and then Magical Curtain as a tech card that works to unbrick us, as well as set up for 3 giant monsters on the board and protects us from Widespread Ruin. Because again, if we can summon out a 7's Magician with Magic Curtain, and then use its effect to make it the biggest thing on the board, Widespread Ruin doesn't do anything. So Widespread Ruin only destroys the highest attack position monster in your opponent's field. If the highest attack position monster cannot be destroyed by trap cards, we completely play around it. So that's how I feel about it. Thank you for the follow, Rainy Warrior. And is that going to be... It is. That's the follower goal complete. It's going to make a lot of annoying noise. There it is. There's the annoying noise. But yeah, we got to 240. Thank you, everyone, for contributing. Right, we're going to play at least one more game of this, I think, of the Dark Magician variant. And we'll see how it goes. I think so the deck we didn't try today, that we will probably try again in the future, is just Dragon Casters. Just Dragon Casters with some of the new stuff is going to be really good. I think Curtain of Sparks is a really good card just to be paired with the Dragius, as well as the fact that in Dragon Casters you can play both Magical Stream and whatever the dragon one's called. I forget what they're called, but the dragon variant. So you could play up to 6 back row hate. Now I don't think you should play 6, but you could play like 4, right? Magical Stream spell ×2 is definitely required for the DM version, in my opinion. I think yes, because the Dark Magician version struggles to get through back row. Chances are his defense mode monsters are going to be quite weak. So I think we are going to go on the aggressive here. Let's see what he's got. Okay, 2 Growls, what we expected. Now, getting in for some big damage here is really good, but we are open to getting Royal Revel Heavy Metalled. You'd have to be popping Juggler, gaining the attack and getting over us for 14, but that's still fine. Elden Ring boss music. Exactly. For this raid boss of a Royal Rebels player we're against. Set 3. We doing anything else, or is that it? We are tributing. Okay. Wasn't expecting an SRM. This is probably just a pile deck then. So get 900 or 1,000. See what he goes for. Okay. Goes for the bigger monster instead of the 100 more life points. I respect it. Oh. Hello. Right, well, normal summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Activate the curtain. Summon out the 7's Robe Magician. Activate the 7's Robe Magician. Set. Go to battle. Swing. So again, this protects me from... Oh, he's got Recital. Okay. I mean, there's nothing we can do to play around Recital anyway here. We got him on 26. And he's staring down 3 ginormous monsters and a back row. Let's see what he's got for us. Set 2 pause. Thinking about the tribute. Set another one. We need to find our 1 of Torna to break this board. We did not find our 1 of Torna. What we can do is use Magician Shuffle here. Reveal that we have this. Put this in the grave. Then I guess we'll just set and set. I want this set because I don't want him to just never attack, and then we can't do anything else off of that. we will not be using our Seven's Road effect because we do not want to accidentally mill our only copy of Torna. Then we'll pass. Laughs in you, Bell. Oh, no, Lost Warlord, do not tell me you are an Eternal Bond player. Don't do it. Right, Seahorse Carrier. Grabs back Princess. Sets a monster, probably the Princess. You can't leave that in attack. That's how you die. There we go. Oh, it's a Summon Skull. And then he's just going to pass. Okay. He's scared. I understand. Can I kill? I would need a big guy. I need basically a second SRM. Don't have. I mean, I guess we just use the SRM, hope we don't mill the Torna. There's the Torna. It's what, 1100? And then just punch face. If I activate this, I go to 15 plus 15 up to 3000, which is still not lethal. We'll go battle here. Unfortunately, milling that Torna is really bad. That was the only card in the entire deck we didn't want to mill. What's with all these bonds and Duel Links? So, there's this thing called bondage. And if you've ever seen Season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you'll probably notice that Yugi likes to wear a lot of belts. I will allow it. You may end yourself on us. Alright, well, that was a game. And I think with that, it has reached 3 o'clock, which means we have been streaming for 3 hours, which is usually our go-to. So we'll have a quick peek and see if there's anyone for us to raid into. Is there anyone playing Rush at all? We got XRO Universe playing. Or Euro Universe. We could maybe raid into them. But, thank you so much for hanging out. We had a blast. As always, we played some Dark Magician. We played some SAR and had a lot more fun playing SAR, but Dark Magician is still fun. We just need 1000 Knives. We need 1000 Knives. We will probably be back on Thursday with Speed. Now, we might be playing some more Rush on Thursday. Never say never. But we are so close to Legend, and I really want to get Legend in Speed. I really want that. And maybe try and push Cog, because we haven't done that. We're a Rush player. We're a returning Speed player. We are effectively, you know, learning Speed again as we go. We're starting to kind of get the hang of it. We have made up to Platinum. We're almost at Legend. So we're probably going to push for that on Thursday. Other than that, I suppose I should probably, like, plug the YouTube channel. Go check out the YouTube channel if you want more Duel Links stuff. It's all Rush. It's all Rush stuff. So if you like Rush stuff, that's where you go to get it. And I guess I'll see you all on Thursday. Ta-ta.